Sunset in South Bend, and you are looking at Jackson Field, where tonight it's an old-fashioned cat fight in the Northern Indiana Conference. The 5th-ranked and undefeated New Prairie Cougars pay a visit to the South Bend Riley Wildcats on this edition of the 46th Game of the Week. And how you doing, everybody? With the Hall of Famer Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Great to have you with us. New Prairie picking up right where it left off last year. This is a team that went to the Class 4A semi-state, lost to Northridge, lost a ton of people to graduation as well, but now they're 6-0, and they've got it rolling on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, they definitely do, and I think one of the biggest things is the work ethic that they did in the offseason. A lot of the juniors that are now seniors really stepped up to the plate in the offseason, and the coach challenged them, and they all challenged themselves. That loss hurt them, and they felt that they deserved to win that game, and they're not going to let it happen again, and this regular season is something to prove for them as well.
So while a lot of people have New Prairie pointed towards an NIC showdown next week or the tournament, Casey McKim wants his team focused on tonight's game.
You know, I was just talking to our guys yesterday, and the biggest thing is to best prepare for the challenges that come. You have to focus on the challenge you have right now. You need to maximize your ability. You need to maximize the way you play right now, and if you do that, then everything will take care of itself. So play the best you can right now. That'll prepare you for later.
And the reason you have to be focused is because Riley is the bright spot of South Bend athletics right now. They are 4-2 on the season. Derek Lee's team has won 3 in a row. And there is a new attitude here on the south side.
Yeah, there definitely is. You can see it in the way they come out and the way they warm up. And you can see it last week when they faced adversity. They were down a couple scores 6 minutes to go in the game, and they came back. They won that game. They just did a great job of really facing that adversity. And I think speaking with Coach Lee, he really brings that out as well about how this team is prepared and how to continue this forward.
Process, enjoying the journey, and just taking it 1 week at a time. You know, I think we kind of got ourselves in a little bit of trouble earlier in the year when we started to maybe think ahead and not worry about the task at hand. If we focus on the task at hand and nothing else, I think that, you know, we got a chance to do something special and actually have a chance to have some of that success for a while. You know, this year was learn how to win and learn how to be a true program. Next year will be expect to win, you know, and the standard will be the standard. And that will be working hard and staying together as a family and wanting to get better every day.
Despite the fact that both these teams have winning records, they both come in with something of a chip on their shoulder. For New Prairie's, it's from last November. For Riley, it's really from the last 30 years.
Yeah, you look at Riley, and it's been almost 30 years since they've really had a very successful team. New Prairie, on the other hand, I think they're one of these teams that year in and year out, they've really built this program, and you can see it with the numbers that they get out here. And when you look back at Riley, I talked to Coach Lee, and he said the numbers are there. He goes, we got 60, 70 kids out, could have about 20 more, but he's very particular on what his standards are. And he said, when we come in, we have standards that are a little bit higher than what a lot of coaches are. We set those standards high, so next year we might have a little bit more players.
It's homecoming for the Cats. The Cougars would like to spoil the party. Lots to talk about on the St. Joe County Police Department pregame show with the Jordan Automotive Keys to Win, and it comes your way next on the 46th Game of the Week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Bill's Heating, Health Markets, Tony Letcher, St. Joseph County Police Department, Martin's Supermarkets, Interra Credit Union, HealthLink, Jordan Automotive Group, TCU, Electrical Workers, Crown Trophy, St. Andrews Products, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, and the IHSAA.
And this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome back to Jackson Field. The New Prairie Cougars making their way out onto the field as we join you for our St. Joe County Police Department pregame show with the Jordan Automotive Keys to Win. And the Cougars are led on the field by their quarterback, the junior Marshall Kamichek, the 6', 177-pounder. has thrown for 515 yards, but he's also rushed for 549, and in between the two, he's accounted for 9 touchdowns on the year. Defensively, they have an all-stater, and Tavion Ortman, the 6'5", 225-pound senior linebacker, leads the team in tackles with 52. He was all-conference a year ago and is on the Indiana Football Digest Prime Time 25. The keys to win for Casey McKim and the Cougars.
The keys to win tonight for the Cougars, they really want to dominate that line of scrimmage with the Hogs up front, really set a statement early and often, win the turnover battle. That's one thing that they really wanted to concentrate on this week, is really concentrating on getting turnovers. And don't look ahead. They cannot look to Penn and Elkhart in the next 2 weeks. They have to focus on this game and this game only.
Meanwhile, on the northwest corner of Jackson Field, the Riley Wildcats emerge from the locker room, ready to be greeted by this homecoming crowd. And let's check the key players for the Pride of the South Side. We'll start with their quarterback as well, Austin White. 5'10", 170 pounds, only a sophomore, transfer from John Glenn, has thrown for nearly 1,000 yards and 13 touchdowns this season, but he's also very mobile, having run for 202. And his favorite target is Caleb Francis. 21 catches, 530 yards, and 8 touchdowns. The kid's a big play waiting to happen, whether he's on the basketball court or the football field. The keys to win for first-year coach Derek Lee of the Cats.
The keys to win tonight for the Wildcats. I talked to Coach Lee. Perfect effort every play. He likes to go out and likes to make sure that they're focused and ready to go on every single play. Match the intensity and physicality of New Prairie. He believes that they need to go out and be the first ones to throw that punch. Don't wait for it and respond. Go out there, match the intensity, and limit mistakes. They can't have any mental errors out on the field. One huge thing in Coach Lee's repertoire.
So as Riley plants the flag at midfield, you see the series history between these two teams. Not a long-standing rivalry. They first met in 2011. New Prairie has won 8 straight, including a 38-0 victory in October of 2020. The two teams were scheduled to play last year, but that game was eliminated because Riley had a COVID problem. The weather tonight, sensational Chamber of Commerce type weather here in South Bend. What a beautiful sunset, 62 degrees, a little gentle zephyr coming out of the north at 5 miles an hour. There's not a cloud in the sky, so there's no chance of rain tonight.
Yeah, the check on uniforms tonight brought to you by St. Andrews Products. The home team, the Riley Wildcats, wearing the navy blue pants and jersey, the maize helmets and numbers. The visiting team, the New Prairie Cougars, wearing the white jersey, navy blue pants, gold helmets, and navy blue numbers. These teams look great, and so can your team. For the finest in apparel and promotional products, contact St. Andrews Product at sales@standrewscorp.com.
Captain's getting ready to go to midfield for the reenactment of the coin toss. There you see our referee tonight, Dave Hudak. He is joined by line judge Rob Flick, back judge Brian Jacobs, linesman Christopher Wells, and umpire Joe Wells. And as always, the Indiana High School Athletic Association encourages fans to get licensed to become an official, not just for football, but for many other sports that have vacancies and need people, so that high school sports can continue. There you see that Riley has won the toss and elected to receive, and they will do that at the west end of Jackson Field, one of the few east-west fields that we have here.
Yeah, with Riley, I think one of the biggest things tonight, we're going to see the ball get thrown in the air. They would really like to score with some big plays. Of course, they do want to maintain that clock, get first down after first down, kind of run the clock and control it. But again, you got New Prairie on their side that really likes to be physical out there and do kind of the same thing and really just methodical, move down the field. And every now and then, if you're not keyed on the right person, you get out of position and they have that big play up the middle or just off tackle.
Riley 4-2. They're coming off 3 straight wins over Clay, Indianapolis, Washington, and then as Bo mentioned in the open, the thrilling come from behind win last week against South Bend, Washington, where the Cats had to go 99 yards on their final drive in order to take the lead. Meanwhile, New Prairie comes in here 6-0 on the season. They're ranked number 5 in Class 4A of the AP poll, and picking up right where they left off a year ago when they had that great season that took them all the way to the Class 4A semi-state.
Yeah, it was this New Prairie Cougar team. They lost a lot of seniors, a lot of leaders, but they just had a lot of guys really step up this year and in this offseason. And just, they do have a lot of still returning starters and such, but just a quality program that's been year after year very successful in the regular season and in the playoffs.
One of the smallest guys on the field will get us started tonight. Owen Chalik, 5'9", 125-pound junior, will put it into play. And meanwhile, back deep for the Riley Wildcats, they've got Eric Williams right there, and over on the other side, it's Antoine Simpson from their defensive backfield. So we are just about ready for NIC football. The whistle blows. Chalik goes on approach. And when toe meets leather, we'll be underway at Jackson Field in South Bend. Williams from the 13. And Eric Williams, with a burst up the field, is spun down violently at the 29-yard line. A decent field position for the Riley Wildcats as they take the field. Riley led by its quarterback, Austin White, 5'10", 170 pounds. Last week against Washington, he threw for 239 yards and 3 touchdowns.
There you get a great look at the new Riley Wildcat helmet. Used to go with the old Michigan-style helmet.
Dominic Jolly in the backfield, but White going to air it out on the first play of the game. Caleb Francis all the way down to the 36-yard line. They'll actually spot it at the 38. That is a pickup of 33 yards, and the Cats wasting no time.
Here you can see a great replay of it. Just getting some air on it, let him go get that ball. Outran the defender, threw it to the outside. Good throw to the outside of the receiver as well.
It was Francis who caught a 66-yarder last week. New Prairie showed blitz. They're going to try to hook up again. Francis makes the grab at the 1. Spotted at the 2. Pickup of 36. Back-to-back bombs from White to Francis to open the game. And here's one more look on the 46 replay.
Looked like Francis might have bobbled a little bit here. We'll see it on the replay. It might have got away a little bit with the bounce off the ground, but it stayed within his hands the whole time.
Dominic Jolly in the backfield next to White. 1st and goal from the 2. White's going to try to keep it himself, and he gets taken down by Nathan Andresiak at the 2-yard line. Here's the Riley offense. White with Jolly. Good receiving core led by Francis. Along the offensive line, Marcus Washington and Marcus Henderson along with Anthony Schmoke provide the power side. 2nd and goal. Dominic Jolly around the outside to the end zone. Touchdown, Riley. Dominic Jolly's 5th touchdown of the year on a 2-yard jaunt to pay dirt. And boy, the Cats waste no time. 1:08 to get on the scoreboard. Well blocked by the Riley offensive line.
Yeah, just a great job of really sealing the corner there. Wide receiver as well, holding that block, sustaining it so he could get to the corner.
Zach Flugner is on to try the extra point for the Cats. He'll do it out of the hold of Landon Vega. The kick is up. It is good. 10:52 to go in the first quarter. And Riley smacks New Prairie right in the mouth. Derek Lee talked on social media with me this week about we got to come out and we can't be a punching bag. We got to throw punches. Oh, man, did they land a haymaker on the first drive.
Wow, what a great job of really coming out, having a game plan. They knew they were wanting to go up top. If New Prairie has one weakness, I think might be their secondary, and it's one of those things. They're not passed on a whole lot. You don't see a lot of teams in northern Indiana that pass a lot. And when you got a team like this that can really get up there, get some speed, throw it up with some accuracy, just a great job from White to Francis on that drive.
Now the key for Riley is to prove, hey, this isn't a fluke. We can play defense as well. And that's easier said than done against this New Prairie rushing attack. But we will see what happens as Flugner puts the ball on the tee. Back deep for New Prairie. Noah Mungia and Dallas Ryans. That's Ryans, 25. Flugner waits for the okay from the officials. They're ready, so's everybody else. High spinning kick, Ryans at his 10. Dallas Ryans with a head of steam takes it all the way up to the 35-yard line before Riley can finally wrestle him down there, as it's Marquise Young that made the stop on special teams.
Decent field position for New Prairie for their first drive. Good return back up to the 35-yard line.
So New Prairie will come out with number 7, Marshall Kamichek at quarterback, 6 feet, 177-pound junior. This is his second full year as a starter, but his first start actually came in a sectional game his freshman year against Plymouth.
Yeah, a little bit of playing time that freshman year really showed us that he could really play at this level and really succeeded a lot last year and into this year as well.
Mungia tries to go off the right side, and Riley shuts him down for a pickup of 2. So we get a chance to meet the New Prairie offense, sponsored by the New Prairie Athletic Department. Mungia, the leading rusher on the team. Brock Sinka, a force at running back as well. They don't throw the ball much. And then how about the Polish power in the middle? Mrozinski, Bartoszewicz, Klaczynski. Ivan Putski's the only guy missing there. And then throw Flugoff in there, and you could have lineman Wardle. 2nd and 9. It's Mungia again. Shifty feet off the right side, but that's not enough to get away from Ethan Witz and the rest of the Riley defense, who shut him down after a pickup of 1. Let's meet that Riley defense now. And along the front, DeAnthony Johnson having a very good year. You're going to like watching Justin Smith, very athletic linebacker. In fact, it's a very good core with Smith, Foster, and Witz. And then in that secondary, Eric Williams has had a nice year at corner. He's had 4 interceptions so far this season.
Yeah, 2 great first and second down series for the Riley Wildcats defense right there. I think that's one of the biggest things. They really have to get some momentum here early with their defense and really shut this New Prairie offense down.
It's 3rd and 8. Kamichek wants to throw, lobs it out there, and his receiver fell down. He was looking for an open man out there, and unable to come up with it was Blake Morse, the tight end.
It looked like he was looking for a flag, but it actually looked like he tripped over his own teammate. They were both running kind of the same area, same route, and he ran into his own teammate and got knocked down.
So 4th down in a rare punting situation for New Prairie. Kamichek, the quarterback, handles the punts as well. 32-yard average on the season. Bit of a floating snap, but he has plenty of time. And a wobbly kick that'll roll down and take a New Prairie bounce inside the 25 to the 23. So a good kick, 40 yards, no return.
Yeah, we'd like to give Chippewa Bowl a big thank you for feeding our crew tonight. Make sure to take the family to the Chippewa Bowl for $1 games and $2 shoe rentals Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's Chippewa Bowl.
So Riley with a 7-0 lead, and they aired it out on that first possession. Austin White already 2 out of 2 for 69 yards. And he has time to throw, and he's going to go deep again down the other sideline, and Dallas Ryans with good coverage, but maybe a little too good as the flag comes out.
Yeah, it looked like maybe he got his hands up into the face just a little bit on that. A lot of times when the receiver has to reach back for the ball, the defender isn't quite prepared for that reach back.
So that'll be the first penalty of the night on New Prairie. A 15-yarder and an automatic. Oh, it's on Riley. They call it against Caleb Francis. So 15 yards or half the distance to the goal line, I should say, the other way. While we've got a moment, we haven't met the New Prairie defense yet. Let's meet them. They're sponsored by the New Prairie Athletic Department. Along the front for the Cougars, they've got good performance from those ends this year, Ziegler and Wilson. I'll take that linebacking core with Staley, Andresiak, and Ortman. They're all back from last year. And then in the secondary, much more aggressive in looking for interceptions. Bryce Van Bruene has 3 of them this year. 1st and 25. Flags come out. White does too, and he gets nailed right there by Dylan Wilson. Finished up on the play by Aiden Ziegler, but we'll find out what the flag is all about. It's against Riley, and it'll be declined because there was a loss of 2 on the play. Scoreboard says 2nd and 22. Checking the math on that, it looks more like 24 to me, but it's 2nd and long.
Yeah, it's looked like 24 as well. They're changing it to actually 27. I don't know if it's quite 27.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Look at this formation, though, for Riley. They're stacking 4 on the left side, down past the bottom of your screen. A diamond formation, empty backfield. White looks the other way, throws behind Caleb Francis. Oh, if he hits him on that slant pattern, they're playing the fight song.
Yeah, a little miscommunication there and what was going to be run. It looked like when he lined up, they were trying to do an audible on the route. One ran one route, the other one threw the route to the backside, and if he was on stride, you're right, he would have been off the races.
Would you be tempted to call that again here on 3rd and 27?
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at, you need to pick up some significant yardage. Do you just throw it upfield, or do you hit like a crossing pattern across the middle, which usually the middle's open?
Flags thrown and whistles blown. Somebody jumped on this one as well.
Looks like the wide receiver, our short side of the field here, jumped a little early. We talked about that, the mistakes, and Coach Lee talked about the mental mistakes. And right here, we've had a couple of them already here on the second drive. You're up 7-0. You score and go up 14-0. That, now you're talking. But making these mental errors and backing up even more and more, down on the 4-yard line at this point.
3rd and 32. New Prairie showing blitz. Here they come. White, no, he handed it off. And it looks like
dropped the ball.
They dropped the ball, and New Prairie recovered it with Nathan Andresiak. So Andresiak with the fumble recovery deep in Riley territory at the 6, and things turn around quickly, don't they?
You can see a replay of it. Oh, he just didn't get the handoff. Ball goes rolling right into the linebacker's hands. Don't get much easier than that, recovering a fumble.
So now New Prairie, 1st and goal with an opportunity to tie it up. Kamichek flanked by Mungia on his right. It's Mungia off the left side to the end zone. Touchdown, New Prairie. Noah Mungia scores from 6 yards out. For Mungia, that is his 12th touchdown of the year. And the Cougars an extra point away from tying it up. See it again on the 46 replay.
Great job just fouling his lead blockers there on the pull route. Reaching out, crossing that goal line, not getting too far away from his body to get it knocked out, but just a good job of reaching and crossing the goal line. Just like that, 3 mistakes by Riley that last series, couple penalties and a fumble, and New Prairie right back in this game.
Couple of pancakes served up on that touchdown run as well as Chalik comes on to try the all-important extra point. Hold was bobbled, but the kick is up, and it is good. 8:33 to go in the first quarter, and plenty of fireworks in South Bend tonight. Mungia takes it in from 6 yards out, and the Cougars and Cats are tied at 7 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Intera Credit Union. Excellence, integrity, and invested. Chuck Freeby and Bo Hunt back with you. Homecoming here at Riley. Folks all dressed up with no place to go except here at Jackson Field, and they are fired up about facing this New Prairie team. Casey McKim in his 3rd year on the sidelines for New Prairie. Comes in with a record of 22-8 after serving some time as the offensive coordinator at Valparaiso. And he has this team believing in itself, even though they faced a little adversity early on tonight. Owen Chalik on the approach for the kickoff.
One of the things when you have a team that has some good leaders on it and some leadership and guys that have been around, they understand what it takes to falter a little bit and then come back from it and make it into a positive.
Eric Williams from the 15 brings it out to the 25. Excellent coverage by the New Prairie special teams as Hayden Scott makes the stop that time. And so 1st and 10 from the 25 for the Cats. And we've used the analogy once already tonight, but they threw a haymaker. Then they kind of hit themselves a little bit. And now, how do they respond to that adversity?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that go to the well. I mean, you go to the deep pass and you make them stop it, and you got some speed. You don't always have to throw it completely deep down the field, but hit that passing game.
Instead, Austin White will try to keep it himself, and he gets held down by Dylan Wilson, the defensive end, who grabbed him by the jersey, and that was enough for Wilson with help from Nathan Andresiak.
Wyckoff Brothers Farms is proud to support the New Prairie football team and its coaches and want to wish the team the best of luck tonight and as they continue on throughout the season. Stay safe, focus, and play hard. Go Cougars from Wyckoff Brothers Farm.
2nd and 10. Again, New Prairie jumping around, but not coming on the blitz. They didn't need to. They got him anyway behind the line of scrimmage as Aiden Ziegler comes in for the sack. Ziegler gets him for a loss of 4. It'll be 3rd and 14, and the Riley running game has been non-existent here in the first quarter. It looks like they've got single coverage with Francis over here on the near side. Let's see if that holds up. Low snap. White looked that way. Now has to scramble and can't break away. Was able to pick up about a yard that time, but Dylan Wilson, the defensive end, makes another stop. Wilson came into the game with 27 tackles, and he's already had a couple tonight.
Yeah, we always talk about how good this New Prairie defense or offense is, but this defense ain't no slouch either. They get after it, and they want to go after you every single play as well.
Now Riley set to kick it away. Landon Vega will do the punting honors. Ryans and Van Bureney back deep for New Prairie. High snap. Vega with a line drive kick that'll take a hop, and Ryans takes it at his 46, and he's got a wall on the left side. Look out. Dallas Ryans scampers before he's taken out of bounds at the 20 with a nifty 34-yard punt return.
Huge punt return for the Cougars, bringing it back inside the red zone, already to start their 3rd drive of the night.
Dallas Ryans has proven himself to be an effective kick returner this year. But here on a punt return, he runs 35 yards, had a good wall set up over there on the left-hand side.
That was a great job of reading that punt as well and taking it on that hop, understanding that you had time to field that punt and not let it go and not have a return whatsoever.
2nd short field of the night for New Prairie. We'll see if they can take advantage. Noah Munguia switches sides. And lead blocks for Marshall Kamichek, who is tripped up on a great tackle that time. Coming over to make the play was Robert Nabu, the 5'9 junior, who made a dive at Kamichek and brought him down after a pickup of 6. And you'll see it again on the 46 replay.
That was a great open field tackle, coming in, diving in, taking out his leg of Kamichek there.
Nabu, just an incredible athlete. We'll get into his story as the night goes on, but he came to the United States just a few years ago from Sierra Leone. 2nd and 4 from the 13. Munguia this time along the right side has lead blockers out there, but good backside pursuit by Riley helps bring him down that time. Justin Smith, we talked about him earlier. 3-sport athlete at Riley. He's a wrestler and throws the discus. And he may be a little worse for wear after taking a shoulder there, but he held New Prairie to just a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Do you have real estate planning needs that involve a will or receiving an inherited property? Call Lee Holland, Probate Realty.
3rd and 2 from the Riley 11. Big down here for the Cats. Kamichek, play action, throws a bullet, and it is caught by Dallas Ryans down at the 2-yard line. Good for a pickup of 9 and a first down for New Prairie. What a grab by Ryans, his 12th of the season, and you'll get another look here on the 46 replay. Not the best thrown ball, but look at the great hands.
He went down to get that ball, picked it off the ground. Good job of getting his hands underneath it.
Jacob Mrzinski lines up in the backfield. Big man touchdown. Mrozinski, normally the starting guard, runs it in for his 4th touchdown of the year. He's only had 8 carries this season. He has found pay dirt on 4 of them. And you do not want to get in the way of the 6-foot, 251-pounder when he gets ahead of steam.
Yeah, it's a play that New Prairie's run from quite some time, putting some big guys in the backfield when they get down that goal line and get ahead of steam going with 250 plus. Hard to bring down.
Owen Chalik is on to try the extra point. The snap a little high, but the kick is up, and it is good. 4:36 to go first quarter, and New Prairie expands the lead to 14-7.
Wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because Rushcore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the Rushcore family and a $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit rushcore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
You take a look at that New Prairie sideline. What a terrific 2 years it has been for the Cougars. Only Tippecanoe Valley has a better record among area teams over the last 2 years. New Prairie 17-3. Of course, they played more games because they made that long tournament run last season.
Well, you got LaVille, who we'll see next week.
Will Hostrasser, and the Lancers have done a phenomenal job. Looking forward to that clash with North Judson this week, but really was excited to get a chance to see this New Prairie team.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't been able to see them all year, and same thing with Riley. You know, 2 quality teams in the area, and, you know, we haven't seen New Prairie since last year, and, you know, they really haven't lost a beat, I don't think, from where they were last year.
Opportunistic tonight, taking advantage of good defense and special teams to generate some offense. Chalik's kickoff taken by Robert Nabu back at the 10. Nabu can fly. And he hesitated a little bit and wound up paying the price for that as he is taken down at the 22-yard line. New Prairie playing very well on special teams tonight as Tavion Ortman makes the stop there.
We'll see if Riley goes back to the air here, or if they try to keep it on the ground and maybe sustain a little drive and pick up some first downs. Spreading it out again.
And if you're New Prairie, you look around and you say, okay, where's number 5, Caleb Francis? We got to know where that guy is. Play action pass, White with time. Heaving it deep, and Francis couldn't quite get there. Well covered on the play by Brady Burnett. Rare that you can overthrow that guy. Looking at a 2nd and 10 now for Riley. Caleb Francis really was not considered a football player. Basketball is his number 1 sport. He's actually a 3-sport athlete, also plays on the baseball team at Riley. But when Justin Smith said he came out and took the field, and you could tell right away, that's the man.
Yeah. You can look at the way he goes about his business and the way he performs on the field as well during games.
White can't get away from Dylan Wilson, who is having a night. Wilson with his 4th sack of the season, and he tosses White down for a loss of 5. White already with 6 carries, because you get charged with a carry in high school football and a sack for minus 12 yards. And once Dylan Wilson had him, he wasn't letting go. He's a wrestler.
Yeah, you can tell he's a wrestler as well.
3rd and 16. Again, this different formation here. And they'll come back to Francis. Tries to put a move on, but too many New Prairie bodies around. Van Bruini held him in place, and then Andresiak came over to finish it off. Riley gets about 10 on the play, but they needed 16.
Yeah, New Prairie DBs were playing off, did not want to give up the first down. They were giving them the under route, which Riley took, hoping to maybe break 1 tackle to pick up the first down.
Instead, they have to punt it away again. Riley looking over at the sidelines. They only have 10 men on the field right now.
Like they need their snapper out there.
That would be a very important piece to have. Play clock down to 1. They got it off. High snap over the head of Vega, but I think Riley caught a break and that they called a timeout right before the snap. So Derek Lee will talk things over with his team as we keep it right here.
St. Andrews Products supplies our crew with the finest in monogrammed apparel, and they can help your team look great too. Promotional products, advertising specialties, business gifts, and much more. Reach us at sales@standrewscorp.com. The answer to your question is always yes.
There you see Derek Lee. Started his coaching career down at Muncie Central. He's a South Bend, Washington alum, then went to Ball State, the nephew of South Bend Community School Athletic Director Milt Lee. Trying to encourage and teach at the same time in that huddle. Meanwhile, Tavion Ortman in New Prairie hoping to set up another good punt return here. But Riley really caught a break with Lee getting that timeout right before the bad snap, or New Prairie would have had another short field.
Yeah, their last two possessions took over about the 3-yard line and the 19.
Here's a clean snap, but Vega puts it right up the elevator chute. And it takes a New Prairie roll, and it will die at the 30-yard line, a 4-yard punt for Riley. So again, a short field for the New Prairie Cougars. And you cannot give a team with this much offensive talent this kind of field position.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing right now is just the field position that New Prairie's been able to have in this first quarter has just been phenomenal on their part. But Riley really has to get some momentum on offense. That first drive, a lot of confidence. Last couple, just no first downs and no pickup of the yardage. Just mental mistakes that they're having as well.
It really started to turn around on the offensive pass interference call against Francis, which put them in a hole and was their first adversity of the night. Kamichek on first down, wants to go for it all. He's got time, he steps up, he's thrown for the end zone, and it's incomplete. He had a man out there in Reese Lepsinski, but he overthrew him.
Yeah, Reese run a double move there and went to the corner, and Kamichek had him open, just overthrew it just a tad.
So 2nd and 10 for New Prairie. You get the feeling that the Cougars looking to work on some things here tonight before they get into the next 2 weeks of their NIC season when they face Penn and Elkhart in back-to-back weeks to close out the season.
Yeah, I think they really like their run game. They just need to work on that passing game just a little bit more, and it's something they can do here tonight.
And that's why they like the run game, because they got guys like Noah Mungia, who is brought down at the 21-yard line after a pickup of 8. Mungia, an immigrant from Haiti, leads this team in rushing on the year with 732 yards for the season. Coming in, he has 4 carries for 18 yards tonight. 3rd and 2 for New Prairie. A big, imposing offensive line coming out to the line of scrimmage.
And one in the backfield.
In the backfield, so you know who's getting it. And the big fella offering free pony rides for the kids as he picks up 4.
You got 250 coming at you on the offensive line, then another guy 250 coming from the backfield. That's just a haul to bring down.
Mrzinski was lobbying offensive coordinator Bill Gum before the game. And I was standing there as well. I said, well, how many carries do you think you're going to get tonight? He looked right at Gum. He goes, I hope I could get 10. Well, he's got 2 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
1st and 10 for the Cougs. Kamichek rolling out again, looking downfield. He's got a lot of room, but instead decides to throw, and he's got an open man for a touchdown. That's Bryce Van Bruini.
Bryce did a great job of really understanding where all the defenders were, and he came back across the field to find the open spot. Kamichek hit him right on the number. And
just like that, in a 9-minute time span, New Prairie about to put 21 on the board if they can get the extra point from Owen Chalik here.
Well, I think the biggest thing is they've had to go a total of less than 50 yards, I believe, in the 3 drives as well.
The extra point is up, and it is good. And with 1:17 to go in the first quarter, let's take another look at the touchdown pass from Kamichek to Van Bruini. Give that offensive line credit, too. They gave Kamichek all the time in the world. Tough to play coverage that long on anybody.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is when a defensive line is trying to get after the running back and they can't because the offensive line is given all that time. The DBs cannot sustain their coverage for that long.
So the Cats down 21-7 here in the first quarter. Derek Lee admits this is the toughest challenge for his team that they have faced so far this year. The schedule has been very favorable towards Riley, but he also points out, look, we're just 4 plays away from being an undefeated team ourselves.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things too is they're trying to look at all the positives that they've done. Don't always look at the negatives. You want to learn from those as well, but he knew this was going to be a test coming in tonight. I mean, very good ranked 6-0 New Prairie team that went to semi-state last year, believes they should have been in the state championship, if not won it. So just a great test for them and stuff they can focus on and get better at.
Riley with only, do they have an 11th man out there? It does not. Yes, they do.
Late.
Kickoff. Nebu has it go off his hands and back to the end zone. Fortunately for him, the momentum of the kick took it into the end zone for the touchback, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20.
Yeah, if that ball went all the way into the end zone, he would have had to pick it up and take it off and would have had poor field position again for Riley.
And I think that's some of the football and experience, the way that he tried to catch that kickoff.
Yeah, you really have to adjust to that, catch the ball in front of you, not over your head.
So Austin White and Riley have their work cut out for them after a very successful first drive of the night. Cats have failed in their last 3 possessions to get a first down, and White throws to a receiver that wasn't there. Caleb Francis was running a go route, and White was expecting a comeback.
Yeah, one of those things we just talked about, how New Prairie DBs are kind of giving up some ground. They're okay giving up some short yardage passes at this point. They do not want to get burnt deep, so Riley needs to take advantage of that. I think they tried to on that play, just a little bit of miscommunication on the route.
And honestly, Casey McKim somewhat expected Riley to take a page out of what worked for Adams early on last week against New Prairie, which was that short yardage passing game. White on 2nd and 10. Going to hand it off up the middle, and a good run by Dominic Jolly before he's pushed back after a pickup of 5.
Imaginary Finishing Technologies is the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. We specialize in process components for major industries, including aerospace, medical, and military and defense. IFT is excited about over 60-year history and looking forward to the challenges ahead. At Imaginary Finishing Technologies, quality is a way of life.
3rd and 5. Low snap. White straightens up, throws a bullet, nobody home. He was trying to get it to Shamar Jackson, but Jackson wasn't quite in the vicinity, and it's another 3 and out for the New Prairie defense.
Well, they're looking at it, taking their time. Here comes the punt team now.
Yeah, you could really be playing with fire if you give them another short field. Now, there's no guarantee they won't get a short field off of this. Special teams has been a dominant phase of the game for New Prairie tonight. It has set up 2 of their 3 touchdowns. Defense set up the other. Landon Vega on the punt. Dallas Ryans and Bryce Van Bruini back deep.
Yeah, flag comes out, delay a game.
And that'll cost Riley 5 more. 3 penalties on Riley here in the first quarter.
Just little mental mistakes that we've seen here in the first quarter out of Riley. Something Coach Lee really is striving to correct with this team and really want them to move forward without having all these mental mistakes.
Now a high snap, but Vega able to get it out of there, somehow under the arm of Tavion Ortman. But this takes a New Prairie roll as well, and it's going to die inside the 30 at the 28.
Not quite the punter's fault on that one, because Ortman was coming in and he was going to block that thing if he did not get it up in the air. But again, one of those things, you got to get the snap, you got to get rid of it quick.
So an 8-yard punt for Riley there. The last one was 4. And New Prairie has started all 4 of its last possessions inside the Riley 30.
Not going to have a lot of yards from scrimmage tonight.
That's the thing.
Cougars.
I was thinking about that earlier. The halftime stats will not belie the story of this game. This game is about hidden yardage right now.
Yes, it is.
Noah Mungia in the backfield next to Marshall Kamichek. High snap, Kamichek with time to throw. Now running out of time. The chase is on. He gets rid of it. Open man. Touchdown, New Prairie. Bryce Van Brady, his second of the night.
Again, just a great job of Kamichek being able to scramble, get out a little bit of trouble, and that offensive line giving him plenty of time for his receivers to change route and get downfield, and Bryce got open again.
The touchdown sponsored by Wyckoff Brothers Farms. Van Brady with his second touchdown in less than a minute of playing time. Noah Chalik on to try his 4th extra point of the night. The snap is bobbled. Cole Staley trying to run with it, and he's taken down at the 11. And that will make it 27-7 in favor of New Prairie.
I was just about to say 28 unanswered points by New Prairie. I held it back just in case that would have happened, and must have been just because I was thinking about it.
By the way, appropriate enough to remind folks that our first quarter tonight has been brought to you by the New Prairie Touchdown Club.
Touchdown.
And they have had 4 of those here in the opening stanza.
This health tip is brought to you by HealthLink. Everyone knows you can't play or learn if you don't feel your best. If your child isn't feeling well, schedule a sick visit at HealthLink. HealthLink offers medical, dental, vision, and more, regardless of your ability to pay.
So New Prairie leading this one by a count of 27-7. As you look ahead on the schedule, we mentioned Penn and Elkhart, and then their sectional got shuffled around this year, but the whole Class 4A was somewhat shuffled. And remember, we had New Prairie and Northridge in the semi-state last season. Well, it's very possible, and of course you have to go out and win the games, but most people would project a regional that would face New Prairie against Northwood.
Again, yep. Or Northwood, yes.
Now, anything can happen. We haven't even had the tournament draw yet. But if form were to hold, that would be a very interesting region.
Very interesting.
Chalik's kick hits the ground and is corralled by Antoine Simpson. And Simpson has trouble and only gets back to about the 13-yard line with 3.9 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Riley just having all kinds of little mental mistakes. That ball there, you got to get over and field that ball cleanly. You can't let it bounce. Try to get over and get it in the air.
So Austin White will try to rally the troops here. Now, Riley did come back from a 2-score deficit last week in the 4th quarter. This is a little bit different animal here tonight. They've got to show that they can have some success here. New Prairie coming on a blitz again, so White tries to run away from it, and Tavion Ortman will not have that as the first quarter comes to an end here at Jackson Field in South Bend. A quarter that started off with fireworks from Riley, and then New Prairie fired salvo after salvo after salvo, and they lead at 27-7 going to the second on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating. They're keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. Normally, we would go downstairs for a Bill's Heating sideline report. Mr. Hunt has now moved up to the booth. Your thoughts on that first quarter?
Well, I think the biggest thing is Riley came out, threw the first punch, and New Prairie is like, whoa, wait a second. we're the team that's undefeated. We're the ranked team here. Let us show you how to play this game. And they've come out 27 unanswered points at this point. They haven't let Riley pick up a first down since that point. And Riley's kind of shooting themselves in the foot a little bit with all their penalties and mistakes that they're having out there. I think that's one of the big things. They need to refocus, regroup, and get back to the basics at this point.
The funny thing is, New Prairie hasn't had a ton of first downs either. That's because they've had such short fields. Austin White's throw goes through the hands of Shamar Jackson, and then he takes a thump. My goodness, what a blow from Hayden Scott. Jackson pops right up, though.
Yeah, it's decent pass by White as well. I mean, just you can see it here on the 46 replay. Throws it across the middle, goes up a little high, but you still got to come down with that ball. But again, it might have been anticipating that hit because it was coming for him.
There was reason to anticipate. White now 3 of 8 for 79 yards tonight. Riley looking at a 3rd and 11. White throws, and that one's a little too short for Shamar, so it'll be 4th down and another punting situation for the Riley Wildcats. The problem also, when you have a passing offense and you throw incompletions, you don't run very much clock.
No, you're not running very much clock off the scoreboard. And the other thing is when you're pinned down, you're not picking up a lot of yards either. And so you're putting your punting team in a situation where they're punting out of their own end zone. New punter on, it looks like.
Robert Nabu will handle the punting duties now for Riley. Takes the snap, and he gets off a pretty nice kick here. Van Bureney, who's had a big night, will have problems fielding it back at the 46. And believe it or not, the Riley 46 is the second worst field position of the night for New Prairie. Their worst was on their opening drive.
Yeah, just better get it out of their end zone, but still just great field position for New Prairie, taking it on the 46. Here on 46.
Marshall Kamichek, 3 out of 4 with a couple of touchdown passes tonight already. Let's see what he does here on 1st and 10. He's looking to throw again. Kamichek steps into it, airing it out for Bryce Van Bureney, and a flag comes in from the side judge. And it was well earned.
Yeah, a little bit of a face guard and ran right into him on that play. Bryce tried to reach back for that ball, wasn't able to because the defender was running through him instead of turning his head back towards the ball.
The Riley fans booing, 2 officials talking it over here. By the way, the first downs tonight for New Prairie sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine. And the official's still going to talk it over as you take another look on the 46 replay.
They're waving it off.
I'm not sure how you wave it off, but okay.
It'll bring up 2nd and 10 for New Prairie Cougars on the 46.
Second and 10. Munguia lined up next to Kamichek. And you get a feeling it's going to be his turn to touch the football. Nope, Kamichek throws out in the flat. Dallas Ryans with a nice catch. His 2nd of the night. And he delivers a blow over there on the sidelines to the tackler, but comes up just a little bit short of the first down.
Here to protect and serve our communities, St. Joe County Police Department is hiring immediately. Employment opportunities for high school graduates are available, and they offer a host of benefits and a true family environment on their team. Learn more at sjcindiana.com/employment.
Travion Ford will be credited with a tackle there, but he paid the price for that one. 3rd and 1. And look who's lined up in the backfield. It's Mrzinski. But it's play action. Kamichek going to try to throw for the end zone. He's got a man out there, but threw it too far. He was looking for Blake Morse, but couldn't connect.
I think they're trying to show that they can line up in that formation and not have to run out it all the time, that they can actually pass out of it as well. But I'm pretty sure this is a 4th down situation where they're going to go ahead and go for this.
And Mr. Mrzinski is sitting there saying, hey, I'm in the backfield for a reason. There's no need for deception when you got a guy like me back here.
Those carries are getting closer to that 10 spot.
There's the big fella, rumbling, stumbling. First down, sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine. He takes it down to the 29.
The New Prairie Touchdown Athletic Department would like to thank our student athletes, coaches, staff, parents, and fans for all they do to help support and promote education-based athletics. We are proud of our community. That's the New Prairie Athletic Department.
1st and 10 from the 28-yard line for New Prairie. Kamichek tonight, 4 out of 6 passing for 63 yards and 2 touchdowns. But it's Munguia running the football this time. Banging into tacklers, ball pops loose. Looks like Riley has it, they do. It's recovered by Quetez Foster. And New Prairie with its first turnover of the night. You get another look on the 46 replay. Oh, he took a wallop from Robert Nabu, and then Foster got there in a hurry.
Riley finally getting a little things go their way. See if they can capitalize on this mistake by the Cougars.
Austin White has had problems throwing the football tonight. High snap, running a little read option here, and White gets snowed under on the tackle by Hayden Scott after a pickup of about 5. For Austin White, that's his first carry for positive yardage tonight. Second and 5 for Riley. If nothing else, Riley needs a couple first downs just to give the defense a little bit of rest. Here's a handoff, Jolly, but we have a flag come in from the umpire, and typically that's holding.
Yeah, it looked like it came in pretty fast there. It looked like he might have grabbed him or might have had a guy lined up. Looked like, was it holding or face mask? We couldn't quite see from here.
Well, we'll get an idea here. The officials talking it over with Casey McKim. It is a hold against Riley. And so that'll march him back 10 yards.
The Billy Goat 9 and Dime in New Carlisle, serving your favorite foods and golf. Daily specials, famous homemade pizza, and Wild Wing Wednesday, featuring 89-cent wings and beverage specials. And weekends at the Goat offer fine dining specials on prime rib, grilled favorites, and fresh seafood. And new to the Goat, our 3,200 square foot pavilion just waiting to be rented for your next special event.
Meanwhile, Robert Jolly only able to pick up about 3 yards that time, and leaving Riley with a 3rd and 12. You see young Austin White, the sophomore, looking over to the sidelines. White missed most of the offseason with a shoulder injury, but Derek Lee, his head coach, says this young man is a gamer. Play clock down to 7. White looking to throw, play action, heaves it up for Caleb Francis, couldn't quite get there. Good coverage on the play by Brady Burnett. Those two having quite the battle tonight.
Yeah, just really trying to get that deep pass down the field that they connected early in the game with, but just New Prairie's been able to really defend it well and really stay with the speedy receivers that Riley has.
So another punt here for Riley. This one will be from their own 23-yard line. Robert Nabu had a decent kick the last time. We'll see if they can finally push New Prairie back inside its own territory. And now Riley's probably going to have to burn a timeout. It's the second one they've had to use on special teams tonight. we'll take it as well. 8:44 to go first half. New Prairie still on top, 27-7. You're watching high school football on TV 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team and help protect and serve our community. Homecoming here at Riley, but it's been spoiled by this New Prairie team coming in, taking advantage of Riley mistakes and taking a 27-7 lead here as we approach the midway part of the second quarter. Robert Nabu on the punt. And Nabu puts the boot into this one. It's taken by Dallas Ryans at the 45, and he is brought down from behind at the Riley 40. But again, New Prairie playing on another short field.
Yeah, speaking of field, I definitely want to give compliments out to the field crew for this field. It has never looked as good as it has tonight. I've been here quite a few times in the past, but this field is immaculate.
It is led by Austin Dance, the crew that works on this field. And even the New Prairie folks were out here. This is stunning how good this field looks. And they've brought out the rollers. They put special Riley in the end zones. Wanted to make it look as special as possible for this TV 46 game. Bad snap. Kamichek in trouble. Gets away from people and finds Morse up to the 30-yard line, and that'll be good enough for a New Prairie first down, sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine. And that is a lot of the poise that Marshall Kamichek has developed between his sophomore and junior years.
Yeah, not only was it a bad snap that didn't get to him, he was able to pick it up, shed a tackler or a possible sack in the backfield, and still get the completion away for a big first down.
Blake Morse with his first catch of the year. Prior to that, his biggest athletic accomplishment was playing for Prestige Worldwide in the Wiffle Ball Hometown Cup. 1st and 10 from the 30. Kamichek under pressure again. Still on the roll, throws off his back foot, and is it caught? It is.
Wow.
What a catch. That was Reese Lepchinski out there with his 4th grab of the year. And it's good for a first down, sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine, a pickup of 19 on the play.
Very dangerous throw by Marshall there, rolling out, throwing against his body, kind of just lofting it up for a guy to come back to the ball. But there was a lot of defenders in the area right there. It could have easily been picked off.
Kamichek 6 of 8 for 93 yards here in the first half. Riley trying to buckle down and come up with a play here to keep New Prairie out of the end zone. Cougars already lead at 27-7. Handoff Noah Mungia through a big hole up the middle. He crashes forward for 5.
The New Prairie Touchdown Club's Trivia Night is right around the corner, located at Monroe's Crossing on Saturday, October 22nd. Join us at 5:30 p.m. as we celebrate our great team and see who knows the team best this year. The New Prairie Touchdown Club would also like to wish the football players and coaches good luck this week. Go Cougars!
Brock Sinka comes into the game now at running back, his first appearance of the night. The junior has 40 carries on the year. Looking at a 2nd and 5. Riley coming with a blitz, and oh, did they get there? Quaytez Foster comes in and lowers the boom on Sinka. Loss of 3 on the play.
What a great job of really just finding a hole, getting through there as quick as possible. I think he read the snap as quick as he got in there and just laid one on Sinka.
Foster, the brother of Justin Smith, and they talk about the chemistry they have at that linebacker position. And man, oh man, what a blow he laid on Sinka. A collision of 34s right there. 3rd and 8. Kamichek wants to throw. Off his back foot, lobs it out there, and knocked away at the last minute by Eric Williams.
Great job by the defensive back, being undersized in this situation, going against the tight end there, Ortman. Just a good job of really knocking that ball away.
4th down. Decision time here for Casey McKinn. But rather than take the field goal opportunity, he's going to go ahead and try to get the first down or the touchdown.
Yeah, I think with Riley only picking up 1 first down after that first drive, I think he really believes his defense can step up if they don't make this. Play clock's getting down to 3. They have to use a timeout.
And the timeout taken by New Prairie. We'll keep it right here.
The Riley Athletic Department congratulates the school on earning for the 3rd year in a row, the PLTW Most Distinguished School.
Reminder, college football on Pulse FM on Saturday. A Big Ten doubleheader will start you off at noon. Purdue, we'll see if Aiden O'Connell can go at quarterback, but whoever does has to go up against a very good Minnesota team. PJ Fleck's got him rowing the boat up in Minnesota, and the Golden Gophers ranked number 21. So that's on all 3 frequencies at noon. And then at 7:30, Tom Allen takes Indiana down to Nebraska. We'll see if they can get a Big Ten road win. If they do, they're 2-0 in the conference. That's Saturday night at 7:30 on 103.1 FM.
Minnesota, what an easy schedule they have if you look at it. They could easily get through that with undefeated and go to the Big Ten championship.
The Big Ten West, not exactly the Big Ten East. Here it's 4th and 8. Kamichek hands it off. Brock Sinka trying to get around the corner. That's not going to happen. Well defended by Robert Nabu. Sinka brought down for no gain, and Riley takes over on downs.
What a great defensive stand for the Riley Wildcats team, being down 20 points, 3 scores at this point, but yet finding that drive, really stepping it up here, down inside the red zone in that 4th down play.
So now Austin White and the Cats have to do something they haven't been able to do in a while, and that's get a first down and get some movement out of this hole that they've been in all night. They scored on their first possession of the game, have not had a first down since. White keeps it on the option and takes it forward for about 3 yards. Cole Staley in on the tackle that time, along with help from Aiden Ziegler.
Well, winter's around the corner, and it's time to get your vehicle serviced for the winter. Call Central Automotive in downtown South Bend.
Pick up a 4 on the play that time for White, and that's just what the doctor ordered for Riley. They need to run a little bit of clock, get some first downs, maybe even punch it into the end zone here at the end of the first half to make it a ball game again. 2nd and 6. Hand off to Dominic Jolly. He puts the head down, but not much room to go against this stingy New Prairie defense. Earlier this week, I was talking to Casey McKim, and he says we are awfully tough to run on. Teams might be able to throw on us a little bit, but we are awfully tough to run on, and they have lived up to that billing here tonight. They've held Riley to 8 yards rushing tonight.
Yeah, I mean, just a great job by the guys up front, but then also these DBs really coming through after that first drive and really stepping up and shutting that down as well. Of course, a lot of the pressure that D-line's putting on the White as well.
Now Shamar Jackson makes a catch. There's a first down for Riley up to the 25-yard line. Pickup of 12 on the play as Jackson makes his first catch of the night. He came in with 23 on the year.
Great slant route coming across. Good throw, hitting right on the numbers. He kind of settled down, picked up a big first down, moved the chains, getting some good field position here.
1st and 10 from the 26. White again running the option, pitches to Dominic Jolly. He's got some room on the outside, and Jolly able to take it for a pickup of 8. Jolly, the leading rusher on this team, good student, transfer from John Glenn. His dad, John, is the offensive coordinator here for the Riley Wildcats. And he is the stepbrother of the quarterback, Austin White. 2nd and 3. And again, they'll keep it on the ground with the option, and this is having a little bit of success. It moves the chains again as White is able to pick up 4.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing with this team right now at this point is they just need to get some momentum. They need to get some positive yards like they are in this drive. They look like they have a lot more confidence out there. They look in sync. and they're not having the mental errors of jumping off sides, holding penalties, and such.
1st and 10 from the Riley 37. Cole Staley showing blitz, but he holds back. Jolly hesitates a little bit as he hits the line of scrimmage. Still managed to squeeze 3 yards out of that play. Dominic coming off back-to-back 100-yard games against the 2 Washingtons, one from Indianapolis, one from South Bend. You see the clock, right-hand corner of the Intera Credit Union scoreboard. Riley with only 1 timeout left here in the first half. A little confusion on this offensive set, but they'll keep it on the ground with Jolly. Shows good burst there and picks up about 4. For a running back, you saw Jolly there be very patient about going through the hole. That's not easily learned, is it?
No, it's something you get the ball. A lot of running backs younger in their stages of their career, and they get the ball and they want to hit that hole. They know where they're going, but a lot of times you have maybe a pulling guard or somebody coming across that's going to kick somebody out. You have to wait for that. A lot of times you just got to be patient and let the play develop a little bit.
3rd and 3, a lot of opportunities here for Derek Lee and his offense. They're going to keep it on the ground with Jolly, and he will be short of the first down. Tavion Ortman, that big 6'5" body, wrapping him up at the 46-yard line, leaving Riley with a 4th and 1 here, and decision time for Derek Lee. His team has not had a whole lot of success on special teams tonight, and he's going to go for it here on 4th and 1. White will keep it himself. Didn't get there. Pitches it back to Jolly. Play still alive. That's a first down for Riley. What a heads-up play by Austin White.
Whistle was never blown. Always play to the whistle, and his momentum might have been stopped. It might have been going backwards, but just a great job of seeing the running back. He sees him right there. He's like, hey, here you go.
There's the 2 stepbrothers and the chemistry that goes on in that family. Dominic bailing out Austin White. Now a timeout will be taken here.
We got an injured player over on the sideline.
We do have an injured player in front of the New Prairie sideline. We will take a break with 1:38 to go first half. New Prairie leading Riley 27-7. You're watching high school football on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by HealthLink, your community health center. Appropriate enough as Bryce Van Bureney had to hobble off the field. He did it under his own power, seemed to be favoring an ankle. And Riley looking at a 1st and 10 with 1:38 to go here in the first half. Play action, White under pressure, down he goes. Jacob Mrazinski nearly ripped off his helmet as he took him down back in Riley territory at the 47, a loss of 6.
White almost looked like he was getting up like Tua was the other day.
Well, watch the violence. It wasn't by the helmet, it was underneath the shoulder pad.
Yeah, looks like he came down maybe on the shoulder and the head at the same time. New Prairie take a timeout here?
Yes, they did. They wanted to preserve some clock with 1:21 to go here in the first half, hoping that they can get the ball back and maybe make something happen here in the second quarter.
Yeah, because New Prairie will get the ball as well to start the second half.
Well, it gives us a chance to ask our TCU trivia question tonight, and we want to know when the last time is that Riley beat a ranked football team. Not the easiest thing to find, but we did.
Yeah, you got to find who was ranked that they played
yes,
in the area
exactly.
during that time.
And who they beat.
And they had a win against that team.
The answer may surprise you. I'll just say that. We'll get it answered before halftime for you. In the meantime, you take a look at this New Prairie defense, which again has been up to the task ever since the first series of this game. 2nd and 16 here for Riley. White with a bullet. Caleb Francis, what a catch at the 30. Hayden Scott brought him down, but that's another first down for Riley. And Francis is as advertised, folks.
Yeah, what a great seam route. And Francis going up for that ball. Here you can see a great replay. It went up, held on, just a great job, great route and great pass.
4 catches, 102 yards for number 5 tonight. 1st and 10 from the 30. Play action. White's got a man open. Francis, and it's underthrown and intercepted by Hayden Scott at the 4.
Underthrew him, had Francis open deep, just couldn't get it over the safety's head. Great job, good interception by the New Prairie Cougars.
Hayden Scott with his first interception of the year. Casey McKim says his secondary has been much more aggressive playing the ball this year, creating turnovers, and that's a turnover there.
We'll see what Casey McKim does here with just under a minute to go, backed up down to the 40-yard line. Do they try to get another score, knowing that they get the ball to start the second half?
Also knowing that Riley has 1 timeout left.
Yep.
Sorry to step on you there. 1st and 10. I would expect they'd be conservative.
It looks like they got the big hoss in the backfield to pick up his, what, 4th, 5th carry now on the night?
This would be carry number 5, but they bottle him up for a gain of 1 right there. Actually, carry number 4, excuse me.
If we can get to the 5th one before halftime, he's halfway there.
Well, he may very well get it. Mrzinski, a 3-year starter on the offensive line. And if you're thinking, well, did they just throw this wrinkle in? He had 2 touchdown runs in their victory over Marion. He had a touchdown run in the semi-state last year. Give the big fella the ball again. Oh, Kamichek kept it himself, tried to deceive, was hoping he could bust a seam. He gets first down, sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine, up to the 15-yard line. Pickup of 11 for Kamichek, just his 2nd carry of the night.
Now that they have a little room here, we'll see if maybe they take a shot or 2 downfield.
Clock running, though. They're going to have to hurry if they want to do that. And they show no sense that that is going to be the case.
No. Casey took off his headgear and it looks like he's heading to the locker room.
He says, well, Bo's up in the booth. I might as well just go to the locker room because he's not going to talk to me now.
Yep.
So the first half comes to an end here at Jackson Field in South Bend. After 34 points were scored in the first quarter, nothing happening here in the second. It's still 27-7 New Prairie. You'll meet our Tony Letcher Health Market Student Athletes of the Week after this on the 46 Game of the Week. Here at Jackson Field in South Bend, time to meet our Tony Letcher Health Market Student Athletes of the Week, brought to us by our friend Tony Letcher and Health Markets. 2 outstanding, 2-sport, all-conference athletes, and they get the job done in the classroom. Who wouldn't want to talk to Lillian Zelasco of New Prairie and Ethan Witz from Riley? We always start with the visitors first. Lillian, an outstanding cross-country runner, finished 9th in the state last year, was the semi-state runner-up, the regional champ. Also all-conference in track as well, and doing a remarkable job in the classroom. How do you balance those 2 sports, which require such discipline and practice, as well as your academics?
You know, I take time to practice after school with my cross-country and with track. You know, you have to go to practice. Usually takes like about 2 hours. I mean, after practice, I sit down for about an hour every night, and I'm like studying what I know I'm not so strong on in the classroom, taking time to really just go through and focus on what I need to focus on, what I'm struggling with.
So that's a value that doesn't come naturally to a lot of people. Maybe you're pushed to success, but who has kind of instilled those values in you?
Mom and Dad, for sure.
How did they go about doing that?
You know, I've always been taught, you know, you need to be able to excel in the classroom so you can go and do things in like your future, like go to college, get a good degree, you know, graduate in that top half of your class, you know, go do big things.
The NIC meet coming up tomorrow for cross country. I know you're right in the hunt for an individual championship along with maybe Mary Eubank from Penn, and obviously Penn is looked at as the top dog in the conference. How do you see your team stacking up?
We're looking to go top 3 in the conference tomorrow, so we're going to get out there and race hard, see what we can do.
And as you take a look at your future, I know you're going to look at many different schools where you could possibly run both cross country and track. As far as academics are concerned, you're interested in biology. I'm curious what piqued that interest for you.
Well, I really like the sciences, and that's a good undergraduate that goes with running. And I want to be a physician's assistant in the future, so that kind of sets me up well for that path.
Well, terrific. Congratulations to you, Lillian, on a job well done.
Thank you so much.
That is Lillian Zelasco from New Prairie High School. And over here on this side, we have another two-sport, all-conference athlete, Ethan Witz, not only a member of the football team, but also a member of the track team, city champion in the shot put last year. Congratulations to you on that. Let me ask you the same thing I just asked Lillian. 2 sports, 2 seasons, and you still have to get it done with the books. How do you do it?
It definitely comes with a lot when practicing after school and things like that, and then coming home, doing all your homework and things like that. It just comes with a lot. But at the end of the day, you need to get it done so you can excel both in the class and outside in sports and things like that.
Now, clearly you save time by not shaving, but then we also have to figure out who instilled those kind of values in you.
Oh, it's definitely my parents by far. They always push me. They've been here from day one and will always be here until the end. And they just push me every day, make sure I get my homework done. And for me to even be out here, I need to have my work up. So for things like that, it's just my parents all the time.
Talking to your teammates this week, they are so impressed by your leadership skills. And obviously this team is having a year that it hasn't had in a while. What has been the impetus for this football team's success this year?
We just definitely go out here, bring the energy every time, and we just come out here, we're a brotherhood. We got to trust each other. We got to trust each other with our jobs and things like that. If one person doesn't do their job, then it's just it's bad. So pretty much we just got to come out here and trust each other and hope we do our job and get the job done.
I know you want to play football in college. What else do you want to do on the academic side?
It was definitely major in sports management, like the marketing side behind it, with like team sports and stuff, so I can just carry on sports throughout the rest of my life and things like that.
It's not the worst job in the world, believe me.
Yeah.
That's Ethan Witz from Riley, Lillian Zelasco from New Prairie. Our Tony Letcher Health Market Student Athletes of the Week. We thank Tony for his sponsorship of the segment. Halftime highlights and stats are coming up. You're watching the 46 Game of the Week. And this edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Martin Supermarkets. Count on us for all your grocery needs and so much more. We welcome you inside the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth. Chuck Freeby, Bo Hunt, high above the fray here at Jackson Field. Halftime, New Prairie on top of Riley, 27-7. And in the St. Joe County Police halftime report, Bo, I have to think that Riley can't feel too bad about itself right now. Offensively, yeah, they struggled. But really, this game was lost on special teams so far in the first half.
Yeah, I have to agree wholeheartedly with that. I think the biggest thing was Riley came out, they threw the first punch, they scored the first touchdown, but then special teams kind of let them. They had some mistakes on offense, they weren't able to move the ball.
Right.
But special teams, the punting team really struggled to get any punts off, a couple that were blocked, and some good returns as well by New Prairie. New Prairie had inside the 30 and in every drive except one. So,
now, credit New Prairie.
Yeah.
Their defense and their special teams set up those plays. And we'll show you how it got to be this way here at Jackson Field because, as Bo mentioned, Riley came out very impressive on the opening drive. First play from scrimmage, they hit Caleb Francis on a 36-yard bomb. Dominic Jolly runs it in for the touchdown, 7-0 Wildcats. But a fumble deep in its own territory recovered by Nathan Andresiak sets up Noah Mungia for the first touchdown, tied at 7. A punt return set up Jacob Mrzinski for a touchdown, 14-7. Marshall Kamichek then would hit Bryce Van Bureney not once, but twice in the first quarter. It's 27-7. You're thinking New Prairie might be headed to a blowout, but this had some physical play in the game. Dallas Ryan's delivering a blow there. Robert Nabu right there. Riley's defense really stiffened midway through that second quarter. And then heads-up play by Austin White, finding Dominic Jolly on the pitch to keep a drive alive. But Mrzinski comes in with a sack here, and then a beautiful pick here by Hayden Scott at the end of the first half keeps Riley off the scoreboard. But the stats not quite as dominant as you would think a 27-7 game would be.
Yeah, when you look at that and the total yards, you look at, Riley only has 10 less yards. it was all about the field position, and New Prairie was able to really capitalize on the turnovers and mistakes that Riley had. And I think that's the biggest difference right here is the capitalization that New Prairie was able to do.
Now, with all that going on, you still can't spoil the homecoming party, and they have crowned the queen tonight at Jackson Field. It is Allie Park, a member, in fact, the president of the student council, 4-0 student, member of the soccer and swim teams. Lovely young lady crowned here at halftime by Principal Sean Henderson. So the Riley Wildcats down 27-7 at the break. This has been the St. Joe County Police Department halftime report. Second half play-by-play from Jackson Field comes your way after this on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by TCU. Discover better banking at TCU. Chuck Freeby and Bo Hunt from Jackson Field in South Bend tonight, where New Prairie leads at 27-7 at halftime. Casey McKim probably doesn't have to make a lot of adjustments here at the half, but I imagine Derek Lee does, and Bo Hunt with the Bills Heating sideline report. What do you expect these two coaches to do differently in the second half?
I think with Lee, I think he just continues their momentum that they had right to end the first half there. I thought their offense started to spark a little bit. They didn't have as many mental mistakes, and I think that's one of the biggest things of that first half is the mental mistakes in the special teams. And Casey, I think, on the other hand, we talked a little bit about it. Does he show some different sets? Does he show some different things just so teams have to prepare for it? And again, I mean, it's only a 20-point game at this time, even though they dominated pretty much that first half. Riley still has a chance to win this game, but Riley gets the ball, or New Prairie gets the ball first, and Riley needs a big stop here on the first series.
I thought New Prairie dominated the first half, but I'm not sure they really made much of a commitment to the running game in the first half.
I
agree with you that I think they're showing a lot of different things and trying to put some things on film that people have to worry about and working on the passing game. And Kamichak had a pretty good half throwing the football. I just wonder if they come out here to start the second half with a very business-like, New Prairie-like drive where they just try to grind it down your throat.
I know a lot of times back in the day, what the thing was is you come out that first series from the second half, and you try to do it just like you did in the first half. You come out, you mean business. This is what we're going to do. This is our game plan. We go down, and then you make adjustments as you go. But a lot of times that's what you want to do. You kind of want to set the tone for the second half here in the first drive.
And as Bo mentioned, New Prairie will start the second half with the football. That means Ryan Flutner will put it into play here for the Wildcats. Wonderful performance by the Riley Band at the intermission. Superintendent Todd Cummings at the game tonight, making himself be seen. Noah Mungia and Dallas Ryans are the deep men for New Prairie. Cougars have had some big plays from their special teams tonight. We'll see if they get another one here as the third quarter is underway. It's Dallas Ryans from his 15. With a head of steam, Ryans down the field and into the Riley 30. We have a flag back, though, at the 37-yard line, so hold everything, which may have been just what happened.
About the time he came through, that saw the flag come out near the sideline. Big return, though, by Dallas Ryans.
But it will be negated on a holding call against New Prairie.
About a 30, 35-yard. By the time they move back, it'll be almost a 40-yard difference on that because of that hold.
And again, the hidden yardage that happens in special teams, it really doesn't show up on stat sheets very much. But this is a huge penalty against New Prairie, and it breathes some life for Riley.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things, too. I think maybe could have talked about at halftime with Case McKim was kind of a little bit of mistakes that New Prairie doesn't normally have. They've had a few of these mistakes like this in this game.
Meanwhile, we can tell you the Northwood Panthers stayed undefeated tonight in Class 4A. The third-ranked Panthers knock off 5A number 1 Mishawaka 14-6 at Steele Stadium. And they are now in sole possession of the lead in the Northern Lakes Conference.
Wow, I would have never thunk 14-6 between those two offenses. Those defenses surely stepped up tonight.
Here, 27-7 in favor of New Prairie. It's Noah Mungia trying to slam off the right side, and Quaytez Foster stands him up after a pickup of about 1 or 2. Mungia's average per carry tonight hasn't been that bad, 7 carries for 34 yards, but he just has not been able to break loose on a bunch of big runs.
I think a lot of it is their offense hasn't been out there that much. They've had short fields to go, and I think the biggest thing is they haven't worn down this Riley defense because the Riley defense hasn't been out there that often.
Only a pickup of 2 that time. Play clock already down to 10, and New Prairie's not even at the line of scrimmage yet. They'll have to hustle. Kamichek just did get it off. It's Mungia. He had some room on the right side, but brought it back to the inside and is stopped there by Robert Nabu at the 35-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 2 for New Prairie.
Yeah, we want to give Chippewa Bowl a big thank you for feeding our crew tonight. Make sure to take the family to Chippewa Bowl for $1 games and $2 shoe rentals Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's Chippewa Bowl.
Well, this would be a huge stop for Riley if they could get it right here and force a 3-and-out to start the second half. Kamichek in the gun as he has been all night. Foster coming on a blitz. Ball loose, and Riley's got it. And the Cats go all the way down to the 16.
See if we can get a replay of that. The snap looked like it hit a pulling guard or tackle. Guy in motion.
It never made it to Kamichek, and then Ethan Witz, our Tony Letcher Health Market student athlete, picks up the loose ball and returns it all the way down to the 19-yard line of New Prairie. And Riley in business with the short field now.
Yeah, we talked about New Prairie with the keys to win, not looking ahead. And some of the mistakes that they're having are really keeping Riley in this game.
Austin White at quarterback for the Cats, as he has been throughout this one. He's going to run option and pitch to Dominic Jolly, and Tavion Ortman, who is outstanding going from the middle of the field to the sideline, flags him down in the backfield for a loss of 2. Ortman just has such good speed, huge legs. He's a pitcher on the baseball team. Had 12 tackles and a pick 6 last week against Adams. Second and 12, and it seems like Riley has been behind the chains almost all night. Play action for White. He has time, has a man open, but didn't see him, and now Nathan Andresiak takes him down for the sack and a loss of 5.
Finally had some time back there sitting in the pocket, but wasn't able to find the receiver down the field that he had open.
So that'll push Riley all the way back to the New Prairie 26. You get another look on the 46 replay. What you couldn't see was just beyond the right side of your screen was an open receiver. So 3rd and 17 for the Cats.
Need to get this play in under 10 seconds.
White still looking to the sideline. Play clock down to 2. And they didn't get it off.
Wyckoff Brothers Farms is proud to support the New Prairie football team and its coaches and want to wish the teams the best of luck tonight and as they continue on throughout the season. Stay safe, focus, and play hard. Go Cougars.
So 3rd and 22 from the 31-yard line. If nothing else, it gives you more room to run the deep ball, which has been Riley's most effective weapon tonight. Number 5, Caleb Francis in the slot at the top of your screen. But instead they throw out in the flat, and Dominic Jolly rocked by Cole Staley at the 23-yard line, and Jolly a little slow and wobbly when he gets up. It's a pickup of 8 on the play. You get another look on the 46 replay.
Yeah. Little incidental contact helmet to helmet on that one.
Jolly making just his 3rd catch of the year. 4th and 14, and again, confusion for Riley. Austin White trying to get people set. Play clock at 2. They just do get it off. It's a go route to Francis. Bambarini back there with him. Francis, did he make the catch? Yes, he did. Touchdown, Riley.
Well, they're calling touchdown, but it looked like the New Prairie DB came away with the ball.
Let's look at the 46 replay and see what happens if it's a simultaneous catch. And that, I believe, is what they called, was that both men had their hands on the ball at the same time at the end, and a simultaneous catch goes to the receiver. A 23-yard touchdown to Caleb Francis. The extra point hold is bobbled, but the kick is somehow up and good from Zach Flugner. And with 8:04 to go in the third quarter, there's life on the south side. The Riley Wildcats strike on their opening possession of the third quarter here on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the electrical workers of Local 153. They're making our communities brighter, and they have since 1914. Some joy on the Riley sideline after they pick up the touchdown from Caleb Francis. His 9th touchdown reception of the year.
Great job by Riley, really just coming out, taking away, getting the fumble, and really just coming down and just getting the momentum away from New Prairie. I think that's been the biggest thing. And really believing in themselves, believing that they can come out here and still win this game.
Kickoff by Zach Flugner, taken by Dallas Ryans at the 20. And Ryans brought down at about the 32-yard line. Some spirit from this Riley team, and why not? Because their quarterback, Austin White, throws yet another touchdown pass, and White is leading the Northern Indiana Conference in that category this year.
You can get a turnover here, and there you can see Austin White, 13 touchdown passes this season.
And that was coming in, so you can make that 14 now.
Yep. Riley's done a great job against this run offense of New Prairie, and I think that's one of the biggest keys here in the second half. Can New Prairie really set a statement and get the ball going on the ground?
Well, Munguia's going to try to get to the outside here. Mrzinski gave him a good lead block, and Munguia was able to run it for about 5 yards that time. Out to the 37-yard line. Noah Munguia, a sprinter on the track team. All Northern Indiana Conference a year ago. He's had 5 100-plus yard games this season, but tonight held to just 45 here midway through the third quarter. Now they put Munguia in the slot, empty backfield for Kamichek. Kamichek going to try to run, cut back, and he'll pick up some positive yardage here, but not enough for the first down. A pickup of about 2 for the New Prairie quarterback. Jeremy Scales comes over and makes the stop that time from the defensive tackle spot. Scales, a 205-pound junior, and we have an injured Wildcat down on the field.
Do you have real estate planning needs that involve a will or received an inherited property? Call Lee Holland for Probate Realty.
Anthony Johnson, the injured player right now for South Bend Riley, so the coaches will go out and take a look at him. You look at Casey McKim on the other side. Coming into this game, his defense was one of the best in the area. New Prairie was giving up just over 7 points a game. That's third in the area. We'll see that North Johnson Blue Jay defense with Brett Lambert next week against LaVille. And while everybody likes to talk about the offenses of those two teams, those defenses might have something to say.
Yeah, exactly. Only 8 by LaVille and 5 given up by North Judson. A great matchup next week. Interested to see if they both will be undefeated going into that game as well. LaVille looks like they will be. North Judson can't quite get a score on them yet, but two quality teams again next week we'll have here on 46.
3rd and 4 from the 38. Kamichek under, no, it's not Kamichek. They give it off to Mrzinski, and the big fella is stopped at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down. So New Prairie went with a different quarterback there as Kamichek came out. They tried to cross up Riley, but it didn't work. Mrzinski is stopped for a pickup of only 1 after Reed Robinson, the freshman, came in. And on 4th and 4, Kamichek comes back in. New Prairie's going to go for it. They put Mrzinski in the backfield. Kamichek, it looks like he keeps it himself on the read option. He's got the 1st down and more, sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dime. It wasn't Kamichek, it was Mrzinski. No wonder they had problems bringing the big fella down.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell who had the ball there, if he actually handed it off or followed him through the hole, but I think he followed him through the hole to help push him through the hole.
And you get another look here as Jacob Mrzinski gets loose for a 12-yard run. He has 6 carries, 27 yards tonight.
Only 4 more to hit that magic number 10.
He only had 7 carries for the season coming in. 1st and 10 from the Riley 48. Kamichek rolls out. Now he wants to throw, and he's hit from behind. Ball loose. Riley has it. The Cats come up with a big fumble recovery. It's Marcus Henderson who comes up with the loose change. You get another look on the 46 replay.
You can see Kamichek coming out. From up here, it looked like he went to throw the ball, but he was actually moving the ball around the defender, and as he was doing it, the hand got it, knocked it out. Huge turn of events here at Jackson Field.
Quaitez Foster was the man who knocked it loose. Henderson the recovery. 1st and 10 from the 50, and let's see if they try to go back to the money man, Francis. Blitz coming. Picked up. White in trouble, though, and he gets away. Austin White scampering down into the New Prairie territory, and that'll be another 15.
Wow. White run out of bounds, thrown after he's out of bounds, still laying on the ground.
He got thrown down hard over on that New Prairie sideline, but he'll get up.
Here you can see a great look on the replay. Just a great job of seeing that he didn't have anything on the backside and taking it across field and just got thrown out of bounds. He was about 2 yards out of bounds when that throwdown occurred.
Yeah, no awareness whatsoever from Dylan Wilson as to where he was on the field, and that'll cost him 15. Derek Lee was out on the field. He wanted to protect his quarterback, and the official was telling him to get back, and you can understand why Derek's upset. But meanwhile, a turn of events here at Jackson Field. 1st and 10 from the 16. White rubbing the arm. Maybe still shaking out the cobwebs after that hit. And a flag comes in before this one gets underway. It's a false start against Riley.
Not sure what they called that on. I didn't see anybody moving there, anybody actually even said at the time.
So 1st and 15 now for Riley. From the New Prairie 21. Cats have to keep their poise here. So do the Cougars, for that matter. New Prairie coming on a blitz. White throws to the sideline, almost intercepted. Oh, Bryce Frambrainy read the mail, but couldn't keep his hands on it.
Yeah, one of those, the receivers got to come back for the ball, can't sit there and wait on it. Defender is the one that actually came through the ball. Almost pick 6 on that play.
And Brainy was thinking about what he might say to Bo Hunt in the interview, but
That
couldn't
might
hang on.
have solidified it at that point.
Instead, Riley takes a timeout with 5:19 to go here in the third quarter.
Wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are the most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because RushCore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the RushCore family and a $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit rushcore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
Well, Riley's three-game win streak that they brought into this game is nothing new for the Cats. Amazingly enough, despite the lack of overall success that Riley has had in its football program, they have had at least a three-game win streak in 5 of the last 6 seasons. And you have to be remembering that only about 4 or 5 years ago, when Jarvis Edison was the head coach here at Riley, they had back-to-back winning seasons. They went 6-5, 7-4. They were starting to put it together.
Yeah, and they had a lot of numbers at that time, a lot of kids coming out, and a lot of buy-in into the program. It just needs to be sustainable is the thing.
2nd and 15. White to throw to the end zone. Francis is there. And did he maintain possession? No, he lost possession. It was out of bounds on the interception by Burnett. Meanwhile, White slow to get up.
Great defensive play there. Looked like Francis was in for the touchdown. Looked like he had possession and looked like the defender actually took it away. Definitely took it away from him.
But couldn't maintain control while inbounds. Meanwhile, Austin White using a sweatband or a towel to wipe away some moisture. Trainer wants to come out and take a look at him.
I think the refs actually requested the trainer come out and take a look at him.
He might have to come out for a play. We'll see. White has been the only quarterback used by Riley this season. He's talking things over with Derek Lee and the trainer. And this probably all stems from the hit out of bounds that he took at about the 30-yard line a couple of plays ago. So we'll see what the development is here in this game. But the trainer and Derek Lee walking an obviously dejected Austin White over to the sideline.
Yeah, the way he's walking off, it looks like he thinks he's done for the night.
And obviously, from what we've seen in the NFL this week, too, you're not going to take chances with young people at this level in a high school football game. So Dominic Jolly is going to run things from the Wildcat, and Robert Nabu will come in and play running back. And whistles blown and flags thrown as the play gets started, and it's another false start on Riley, which is not unusual when you change quarterbacks and cadences.
Yeah, and just as momentum's starting to go Riley's way a little bit, they start to have a couple mistakes. That's back-to-back mistakes they've had now. Couple penalties, moving them back.
Now, if anybody's going to know the offense, you got to think it's going to be Dominic Jolly. After all, his father is the offensive coordinator. He's the stepbrother of Austin White, as we have established earlier. So they probably feel good about the hands here that the offense is in. Jolly trying to throw on the run, and he throws it out of bounds. Francis can't make that catch.
For over 30 years, St. Andrews Products has set the standard for apparel, business gifts, and promotional items. We support great charities like Folds of Honor and the American Dunes Golf Course in Grand Haven, Michigan. We can help your cause as well. Contact us at sales@standrewscorp.com. At St. Andrews, your expectations become our standards.
So 4th and 20 for the Wildcats here, as Jolly sprints back to the QB position to run things from the gun. Caleb Francis and Shamar Jackson, the receivers, to the bottom of your screen. Jolly looking that way. Heaves it in the air, and Francis couldn't come back to the ball. It's incomplete, and New Prairie will take over on downs. And Francis is slow to get up. So we have a injured Riley player down here on the field. Derek Lee will go out to tend to him. And we will take a break with 4:54 to go in the third quarter. New Prairie on top 27-14 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life. Caleb Francis had to be assisted off the field with the help of his head coach and some players, and the trainers will look at him as well. Meanwhile, New Prairie takes over 1st and 10, and Noah Mungia gets busy. Mungia to the outside. Mungia run out of bounds by Robert Nabu at the 35-yard line. That's a pickup of 39.
The big pickup that New Prairie and Mungia needed on the ground as well. They've been trying to get that big pickup through the air, but there it is on the ground. Great cut up the middle, bouncing it to the outside, and using that speed to pick up the big first down. And huge yardage to get him inside Riley territory.
First down sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dime. They'll give it back to Mungia. He bursts through a hole again, knocking over tacklers, almost lost the football, and he's taken down at the 26 after a pickup of 9. DeAnthony Johnson, who has come back in the game, makes the stop.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies is a proud supporter of high school athletics. Teamwork is our specialty, working with industry giants like SpaceX and Boeing. For over 60 years, excellence has been our standard, and that won't change. Like the teams in this game, we're always working toward a great finish.
2nd and 1. Rock Sinka in the game now at running back. Kamichek gives it off to Sinka. Big hole right side. Sinka gets moving for a first down, sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine, up to the 13-yard line. A pickup of 13 for the number 2 running back for the Cougars.
Talked about if New Prairie was going to get that ground game going here in this drive. They are definitely getting that ground game moving.
Sinka, a young man who really runs with attitude when he gets the football. Mungia back in there now. New Prairie starting to click in the running game. It's Mungia trying to get to the outside, and it's good job by him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Riley D-line blew that play up right from the start. Good penetration up the middle.
Ethan Witz was in on the tackle that time. Mungia tonight, 12 carries for 93 yards and a touchdown. Marshall Kubicek has not thrown a pass yet in the second half. Could that change on 2nd and 10 with Sinka back in the game? It's Kamichek on the option. He runs it to the end zone. Touchdown, New Prairie. It's sponsored by Wyckoff Brothers Farm.
Yeah, when your running game's going that well and you fake to the running back and keep it, that's what happens. You can have some big plays just like that. Good lead blocks out in front, not even touched.
What a job of running that read option that time by Marshall Kamichek. And the junior quarterback, part of this well-balanced attack, strikes again, and New Prairie ups the lead to 33-14, and it looks like they'll go for 2. Big man in the backfield, Jacob Mrzinski. But it's play action. Kamichek throws to the end zone for the 2-pointer to Blake Morse. So Morse gets the reception on the 2-point conversion, and it's a 3-touchdown lead for New Prairie at 35-14.
Again, throwing in a little bit of a different wrinkle that teams have to prepare for. Line up the big hoss in the backfield, and they don't hand it to him. Play fake, hit the tight end out in the flats.
Well, now we can answer the TCU trivia question that's been dangling there since the end of the second quarter. When did Riley last beat a ranked football team? It happened as recently as 2013 when they knocked off a number 7 ranked Marion team 20-0. Brian Stultz was the head coach of Riley that season.
That was a good victory back then in 2013. Very talented Marion team at that time.
I remember that one was something of a stunner when that one went up.
Yeah.
Not just that Riley won,
but the shutting them out, 20-0 shutout was the big key there.
So Owen Chalik will come on to do the kicking duties. Antoine Simpson and Robert Nabu are the deep men for Riley. Cats would love to make a play here on special teams as their offense is a little bit hampered right now by the injury of a couple of players. Chalik puts the boot to it. Simpson corrals it at his 12. And by the time he looks up, there's 5 white jerseys waiting for him.
Yeah, you bobble this kickoff like that and drop it on the ground, and that's what's going to happen. The coverage team's going to get down there. You're not going to have any room to run.
So return by Antoine Simpson only gets it back to the 16-yard line. And deep field position for Dominic Jolly and this Riley offense. Jolly threw his first pass of the season on the last possession.
It's like might have cleared White to head back into the game and see him walking out on the field.
Oh, he is. Okay.
I saw him down there with a trainer. They were doing some tests. I think they were doing some baseline testing, which they have to accomplish and pass in order to come back in.
Austin White didn't seem to be in a hurry to get out there, but he is out there. He takes the snap and he fires a well-thrown ball to Shamar Jackson up to the 34-yard line. No questioning the grit or the arm of Austin White.
Yeah, just a great job of finding the seam route on that, firing it on the money, picking up the big first down for the Wildcats.
White now with 163 yards passing tonight. 8 out of 17 with 1 interception and a touchdown. The sophomore quarterback takes the snap and in trouble now. Will try to get away and just can't. He was able to get back to the line of scrimmage on the play.
Yeah, just holds on to the ball just a little too long at times. He doesn't have a receiver downfield that's open. Better off just to tuck it and run at that point, maybe pick up 3-4 yards.
That's not unusual, though, for a sophomore quarterback, right?
Yeah.
I would imagine the leap between his sophomore and junior year will be pretty great.
Well, that's what we see with Marshall Kamichek. It's the same thing from last year to this year. You can see his ability to kind of read those plays and make the better decision at this point as a junior.
2nd and 10. White again with time. Now trying to run out, and he is spun around, but still on his feet. Takes a lick there as Tavion Ortman delivers the blow back at the 26-yard line. A loss of 8 on the play.
The New Prairie Athletic Department would like to thank our student athletes, coaches, staff, parents, and fans for all they do to help support and promote education-based athletics. We are proud of our community. That's the New Prairie Athletic Department.
Congratulations to Warsaw. Bart Curtis's team bounces back tonight, winning the W Trophy 38-0 over Wawasee. White looking at a 3rd and 17. Play clock down to 5. They'll give it to Dominic Jolly, and Jolly is spun around in the backfield, and he's going the wrong direction, and a flag comes in. That'll be a face mask on New Prairie. So New Prairie called for a face mask penalty. We'll see if it's the kind that brings an automatic first down. It is not. It's an inadvertent face mask. Christian Johnson was the one who made the tackle that time for New Prairie. All the way back at the 12-yard line. It was a loss of 14 on the play.
Yeah, just a 5-yard penalty, remained third down.
Yeah, he did not. He released it as soon as he felt it, which, if you're going to get called for that, that's the best thing you can do. But they have pulled Austin White off the field again, and now the head coach and the trainer are helping him take off his helmet. So it's Dominic Jolly who will handle the quarterback duties, one would have to assume, for the rest of the night. Jolly hands it off to Robert Nabiu, and Nabiu shows some of that great athleticism as he goes up to the 29-yard line. Nabiu, a state finalist in the long jump last year. In fact, at one time last season, he had the second longest long jump in the state and set the Riley School record in that category.
Definitely got some speed and agility on that last run right there. You can really tell that he's got something there, just needs more experience running the football.
And the third quarter has come to an end at South Bend's Jackson Field. The emotions running high in this NIC battle. Riley tried to make a dent in the New Prairie lead, but Marshall Kamichek and the Cougars lead by 21 as we go to the fourth on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV 46 for over 30 years. There's Casey McKim on the New Prairie sideline. His team up 35-14 as we start a fourth quarter, sponsored by Central Automotive. Riley fans still making a lot of noise. They got the speaker down there. They got a jam session going on for homecoming. Up here, a little more quiet for Bo Hunt's Bills Heating sideline report. Your thoughts on this one through three?
Well, you look at the first quarter, it's 27-7. After that, New Prairie's only outscored them 8-7 the rest of the way. I think it's just been a fantastic grind out, just kind of stay with them Riley attitude and just, you know, not giving up, not giving in, and just saying, hey, we got a little bit of momentum here. Let's just continue forward. And then we're not giving up. We have a lot of pride out here, and they're still in this game at this point.
Look at this kick by Nabiu. It chases Van Braney all the way back to his 21. Flag comes in on the play. Van Braney still running around, brought down after a pickup of 10. Meanwhile, there's an injured Riley Wildcat all the way back at the 31-yard line.
Got one at both 31-yard lines down on knee, one laying down.
There's a 50-yard kick by Nabiu. Quaytez Foster a little slow to get up. He's the one that was down to the left as holding is called against New Prairie. Meanwhile, the trainers and coaches run out to take a look at the injured Riley player at the other end of the field. While we've got a moment, let's check on the 4A poll in the Associated Press this week. And a couple of local teams faring very well. Of course, New Pal back in 4A at number 1, and they're going to be an awfully tough ouster for anybody. Roncalli's not shabby either, but Northwood with its win at Mishawaka tonight and the way they did it defensively. Yeah. But as we noted earlier, it's very possible when we get to the regional, it could be Northwood and New Prairie, and man, that would be a dandy matchup.
That definitely would be. And you look at Northwood, the way that we talked about, they won tonight 14-6 over a Caveman team that we saw last week. Very polished offense, defense, and a lot of returners, a lot of physicality out there. And for Northwood to go over to Steel Stadium and put on the show that they did tonight and pull out that victory shows a lot how Northwood is.
It is a cramp that has the Riley player down at the 30-yard line, and that's what's delaying us right now. Of course, New Prairie, we mentioned earlier, they have Penn and then Elkhart coming up in the last 2 weeks of the regular season, which will definitely get them tournament tested. The only concern Casey McKim has about that is, can you come out of those two kinds of battles healthy as you go into the tournament.
That's the biggest thing. I mean, they're definitely going to prepare them for their sectional run, playing the two bigger schools at the end of the season like that. But again, yes, are they going to be healthy? Are they able to come out of that without too many injuries or without any significant injuries either?
Because you're seeing this Riley team get dinged up here tonight. Their quarterback, Austin White, had his helmet taken off. That's usually a sign that there's at least concern about concussion. I'm certainly no doctor to diagnose that. Then Caleb Francis was helped off the field. And now you've got another Riley player hobbling away. So Derek Lee's squad getting banged up, and they've got a couple of interesting games at the end of the year with Bremen and Jimtown.
Yeah, two teams that are kind of up and down as you look at them. Each week, you're not sure which team you're going to come by. Bremen up pretty significantly tonight. Haven't seen Jimtown score. But yeah, two teams that they can go out there and they can definitely play with.
Meanwhile, it's 1st and 10 for the New Prairie Cougars back at their 16-yard line after the penalty. It's Noah Mungia on the carry, and Mungia is off to the races again. Mungia all the way down to the 44, a pickup of 28, which puts him well over 100 yards tonight. Make it 121 for Noah Mungia, his 6th 100-yard rushing game of the season and the 18th of his career. He will likely end his career up there with the Wilsons and Brassers and maybe Ketterer, Weller of New Prairie lore. Mungia again, slamming off the left side. Finally brought down by Quetez Foster after a pickup of 8.
Mungia, slow start to the first half, but here in the second half, really able to get going, having a couple big runs here already in the second half.
New Prairie looking at a 2nd and 3 with 10:57 and counting to go. Jimtown defeated Washington tonight, 35-0. Kamichek out of an empty backfield this time. Keeps it himself after the jab step left. He went right, and he is outrunning people, running out of bounds at the 26-yard line. That's a pickup of 30 for Marshall Kamichek.
First down sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine. After 10, they offer 10 big screen TVs constantly airing both local and national sports. The Goat is always looking to add to their team. Stop by and fill out an application today. The Billy Goat 9 and Dine and hosts Sharon and George Peterson have been in business for over 10 years and are proud to support New Prairie Athletics.
1st and 10. They'll spot it at the 26. Mungia this time, he tripped over his lineman that time and only picked up about 2. It looked like a hole was developing over there, but the legs connected.
Yeah, it's one of those things, you come through the hole, you're not expecting one of your own linemen to be laying down there, and don't always get your feet picked up as you're going through the hole.
How often did that happen to you?
A few times, yeah.
Well, the other thing about that is
your eyes are up when you're looking, and you see the color of the jersey, you don't expect it to be your guy on the ground at that time.
New Prairie actually does as much pulling, and you see it on this play with Mungia going through the hole on the left side and getting the first down, sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine. But they probably pull their guards as much as any team in the area.
Yeah, it's not that they pull just one person. They usually pull 2 or 3 every single time when they have pulling guards and tackles and running backs, whatever you want to call it, the way they run their offense. But it always gets a unbalanced effect when you're doing that, and it gets so many guys over there, and if a running back's patient enough to follow those blocks, he can pick up 7, 8, 9, 30, 40-yard pickups at a time.
1st and goal from the 10. Mungia, against this battered defense, just keeps barreling to the end zone for the touchdown. His 2nd of the night, his 13th of the season. It's sponsored by Wyckoff Brothers Farms. Noah Mungia with 157 rushing yards tonight.
Speaking of touchdowns, the New Prairie Touchdown Club's Trivia Night is right around the corner, located at Monroe's Crossing on Saturday, October 22nd, Join us at 5:30 p.m. as we celebrate our great team and see who knows the team best this year. The New Prairie Touchdown Club would also like to wish the football players and coaches good luck this week. Go Cougars!
Noah Chalik on to try the extra point. New holder out there, Christian Johnson. The snap, the kick are all good. And with 9:29 to go in this one, New Prairie comfortably in front on their way to a 7-0 record, leading 42-14 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. Casey McKim's New Prairie Cougars, ranked number 5 in this week's AP 4A poll. Now up 42-14 on the Riley Wildcats as they get ready to put the ball in play here with the kickoff.
Riley having another guy run on the field, still having a little problems with the special teams and number of players running out.
You got to think that's going to be an area of focus for Derek Lee and his coaching staff coming up in the next week, especially as teams watch these films. Marvin Schindler, one of the deep men here for Riley, but it's Robert Nabu that corrals the ball at the 5. Nabu with some good moves, still on his feet, and finally gang tackled at about the 15-yard line.
Yeah, again, ball on the kickoff, getting away from the return man. A lot of little things like that you just can't have happen. You got to be able to field that cleanly and get it on the run, because you saw the cover team coming down, and there was 5 guys sitting there waiting for him unblocked at that time.
Yeah, the plays on special teams tonight have been dominated by New Prairie, and they have been big difference makers in this game. As we mentioned at halftime, the yardage difference between the two teams was not that great. It might wind up being that way because New Prairie's having a solid running second half. But Robert Nabu having a solid run right there as he picks up about 10 for the first down. But really, we've talked about it all night, Bo. The hidden yardage on special teams in this game has been massive.
Oh, yeah. That first half alone was just ridiculous. And the second half, same thing with some of the penalties and the special team yards that New Prairie's able to get, and Riley hasn't.
Nabu again just slamming up the middle. Nathan Andresiak and the rest of the Cougar defense stands him up after a run of 5.
Well, it's closing in on winter, and it's time to get your vehicle service for the winter months. Call Central Automotive in downtown South Bend.
Here's Dominic Jolly at quarterback, throws out in the flat. Caleb Francis makes a good catch, and then a good open field tackle is made by New Prairie at the 35-yard line. Looks like he's about just a yard short of the first down.
Good throw and good pickup of yardage there, getting close to that first down, making a manageable third down here for the Wildcats.
6 catches for 129 yards tonight for Caleb Francis. And a touchdown.
Have a day, have a day.
He has shown some talent tonight. Here's Nabu off the right side, and he'll battle for the first down and get it up to the 38-yard line. Mentioned Robert Nabu came over from Sierra Leone. His brother is a freshman on the soccer team here, and that is the sport that most people play in Sierra Leone. You want to know what sport Robert Nabu wants to try next? Apparently, he's a very accomplished skater, and he wants to be a member of the Riley hockey team.
Okay, from Sierra Leone.
That would be interesting, would it not?
It would be.
Nabu, again, running hard with the football, and he'll pick up 6 here by the time this one is blown down.
But again, I talked about it last series. The way he runs the ball, he just has natural instincts out there. I can just see his ability to kind of see the plays, make the proper cuts. We got another injured Wildcat down. Looked like maybe another cramp.
people think because the weather has cooled, maybe they don't have to hydrate as much. But when you are expending as much effort as you have to in these games, play after play, you got to keep it up.
Yeah, especially a game like tonight, which is one of those games that lasts just a little bit longer than you're normal to, and it really carries on, already going into hour 2.5 with still just under 8 minutes to go.
You sound like me doing a baseball game. By the way, we've got more football next week, and that comes your way from Lancer Field when number 3 North Judson meets number 3 LaVille. Judson in 1A, LaVille in 2A. Should be a real head knocker in the Hoosier North Conference. We'll have it for you Friday night 11, Saturday morning 9 on your home for high school football, TV 46.
Definitely no love lost between those two schools whatsoever. And they'll both be gunning for each other next week on 46.
Now we have a direct snap to a new quarterback in the game. And the quarterback is Bernard Jordan, a 5'10", 170-pound junior, getting his first action behind center of the season. Dominic Jolly was on the carry that time, took it up to the 44-yard line where it'll be 3rd down.
The Riley Athletic Department wants to wish the Riley football team a great rest of the year. Go Wildcats from the Riley High School Athletic Department.
Looks like Jolly back in at quarterback. He fires it. Caleb Francis with the catch. And Francis takes it up to the 40-yard line. Very well thrown ball by Jolly that time. And Francis with his 7th snare of the night for 145 yards and a first down now. You get another look on the 46 replay. Hayden Scott was the first man to get to him. Tavion Ortman going for the strip.
Good hands by Francis as well, able to really snag that ball, pull it in and hang on to it because he had a lot of guys around him.
Jolly hands it off. Nabu trying to bounce to the outside and does. Still on his feet. That kid is just shredded, and he'll take it for about 10 yards that time.
I think Coach Lee might have found something tonight. I'm telling you what. I've seen some running backs over the time here in the area, and he's got a little bit of ability there. Just give him a little bit more time. His ability to escape tackles, his speed, his awareness on the field.
But, I mean, he took some hits, and he looked like nothing fazed him. 1st and 10 from the 29. Jolly going up top for Francis. And Dallas Ryans, or somebody's going to get called for a PI here. Francis clapping his hands. He believes this one is against New Prairie, and it is. 3rd penalty of the night on New Prairie, and it'll give Riley a first down.
Again, Riley just not giving up. I think that's the biggest thing. They got a backup quarterback running the sets in there. They got some different guys they're running in at running back, and they're just trying to still just get better week in and week out.
And Jolly in there at quarterback. Schindler in the slot. Jolly's going to roll out and still on his feet. Finally dives forward and picks up about 3 yards on the play. I was chuckling as the play went on because Marvin Schindler, we saw last year in basketball, excellent three-point shooter. As a football player, he is not much of a blocker.
Yeah.
He's trying.
Yeah, he's trying out there.
And he joined the team a little bit late, and I'm not sure how much football he has played in his career. But you can tell on that play, it's just like, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do here.
Yeah.
And it looks like he might have been called for a block in the back.
Yeah, might have got him on that as well.
So that'll be a 15-yard mark-off against the Wildcats and set up a 1st and 25. Riley has had 62 yards in penalties tonight. Jolly and Nabu in the backfield. It's Nabu on the keeper, and Jacob Mrzinski says, I'm tired of hearing the plaudits.
Man, he's had a pretty decent night tonight as well, but Nabu, I'm telling you what, you put him in the weight room, get him on some good squat, get those legs going.
My friend, he has already been in the weight room.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Nabu deadlifts 545 pounds. He would probably deadlift more, but that's all the bars hold in the Riley weight room.
Yeah.
Third and 25. Jolly gonna lob it up there for Francis. Why not? It's working. He'll step out of bounds at the 8. And it'll be 4th and 4.
Great body control by Francis of really turning his body. Here you can see a great replay. Jolly gets it up in the air, gets off the defender, turns back for the ball, completely turns around, is able to keep his momentum and to keep him in bounds and get the grab, pick up of 17 on the play.
So 4th, and they'll call it 3 from the 8. Jolly took a high snap, now going to have to keep it himself. Somehow eluded people and got the first down. What a play by Dominic Jolly.
Yeah, he didn't have to get to the end zone. They still had a chance to pick up the first down, and it looks like he definitely has enough for it. It looked like he was dead to rights right there in the backfield, and a good job of eluding a couple defenders to pick up the first down.
Tavion Ortman turning around in the middle of the play saying, how did we miss him? 1st and goal from the 3. Oh, there's a false start. I don't think it got called, though, and Jolly will be brought down by Ortman this time behind the line of scrimmage. Ortman, big, solidly built kid, 6'5", 225. Junior All-State a year ago. 2nd and goal from the 3. Jolly to the end zone, just lob it up for Francis. He lost him, touchdown.
Throw it up, let him go get it.
9 catches, 167 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Caleb Francis.
I know we don't do it, but player of the game from the losing team. He's had a night tonight.
It's a thought.
I mean, he has definitely had a night tonight.
Caleb Francis was the hero of last week's game with a 66-yard touchdown against Washington as Zach Flutner comes on to try the extra point, and again, somebody is late getting on the field on special teams. And the extra point is up, and Flutner somehow got it through there. And with 4:02 to go in this one, Riley closes the gap to 42-21. But you got a 6'3" kid in Caleb Francis going up against Dallas Ryans, who's 5'9", and somehow that ain't fair.
No. But again, Francis went up to the high point to get that ball. Exactly what you want to do as a receiver. Go up to that high point, not wait, sit there and wait on it. And I talked about his hands earlier. He's got great hands. He's able to pull that ball and move it in different direction, and great body control he's got as well.
Well, you got some things to think about on player of the game.
Yeah, I'll think about it on my walk down here in just a second.
You could go with, I thought Van Braney played a pretty good game against Francis when they were matched up against each other. And, of course, Van Braney had a couple of touchdown catches. Munguia has wound up having a big night running the football. And you can't go wrong with Mrzinski, who has a touchdown and also has played a pretty solid defensive game as well.
Yeah, and Kamichek on the ground and in the air as well. I mean, he's thrown a couple touchdown passes and run for 2 more, I believe, didn't he?
Plenty to sort through. Flugner for the kickoff. Spinner. Munguia is the only man back there, and he'll take it at his 8. And Munguia with a burst of speed. looking for blockers, and he's got them. Noah Mungia. Oh my, he's brought down at the 40 on a desperation tackle by the kicker, Flugner.
Another great return by Mungia. Had it last time, it got called back beginning of the half as well.
What's impressive about this is the fact that New Prairie was set up for an onside kick.
Yeah, and so he didn't have the blocking there to set up for that return. We got another Riley player down.
Looks like there might be some more cramping issues. And so the trainers and coaches will go out to get him. 3:48 to go in this one. We're back with the conclusion from Jackson Field after this on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by St. Andrews Products, providing quality apparel to the PGA and 46 Sports. Noah Mungia takes the handoff again and slices forward for about 5 yards. Well, we talk about the secret sauce of different players. During that little cramp timeout, Noah Mungia, what's that in his hand?
Mouthpiece? Oh, wait.
No, mustard.
Mustard.
That's the secret sauce for Noah Mungia. Give me a little mustard and I'll be just fine. I didn't see a hot dog. I just saw the mustard.
I did, but I tell you what, if you're going to put anything on a hot dog, it's mustard. It's not ketchup. So
well, you got that right.
He's the right way right there. Another player down for Riley.
This is Ethan Witz, who's down on one knee now. So the Cats fighting a war of attrition here with 3:16 to go in this one. And of course, Witz, one of our Tony Letcher Health Market student athletes tonight. Have you ever seen that before, the mustard?
No, not on a football field. I haven't. And I love mustard. And I would have maybe thought about drinking that on the sidelines, but not during a football game.
I mean, I've never even heard of that as a possible cramp remedy. Now, pickle juice, I've heard of the pickle juice.
And maybe there is pickle juice in the mustard jar to distinguish that. So we don't know if that's actually mustard in there. But why would you have it in a mustard container, though?
Yeah, why wouldn't you just keep it in a pickle container? Folks, these are the kinds of great conversations you get with 3:16 to go in a 21-point ball game. Fortunately, Ethan Witz appears to be okay and is coming off the field under his own power. Marshall Kamichek, certainly a candidate for player of the game tonight. Couple of touchdown passes and a touchdown run. He has accounted for 157 yards of total offense and really provided good leadership to this team tonight. And they'll give it to Noah Mungia here, and Mungia is brought down after he picks up another first down, sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine, for a pickup of 7. Bo Hunt will cut loose and head down to the field to grab our player of the game interview on the post-game show. That's our St. Joe County Police Department post-game show featuring our electrical workers, Local 153, electrifying play of the game. And New Prairie trying to bleed clock here now with 2:38 to go in this one. Casey McKim's team about to go to 7-0 on the year. A little surprised Mungia is still in there, but he is running well. And he goes forward for about 9 yards. As he continues to accumulate the yardage tonight. 20 carries, 174 yards, and a touchdown for the New Prairie Speedster. Cougars, after not really establishing the running game in the first half, really came out and did that well here in the second half. They are now at 275 rushing yards for the game. And remember, at halftime, they only had about 60. Marshall Kubicek will hand it off to Munguia one more time. Munguia plows forward for a first down, sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine as he takes it up to the 12. And suddenly, remember at one time in the third quarter we talked about he only had 45 yards rushing. Then he got a 39-yarder right after that, and that seemed to spark him. And he's at about 182 yards now for the night on 21 carries. 1st and 10 from the 13. New Prairie not taking its foot off the gas here, even though they're up 42-21. Kubicek will throw and completes it to Reese Lepczynski up to the 3-yard line. That's good enough for a first down. Sponsored by the Billy Goat 9 and Dine. Kubicek now 8 out of 10 throwing the ball tonight for 103 yards. 1st and goal from the 3. Munguia now deep in the backfield. Let's see if New Prairie is just going to down it here. And they will. Kubicek takes a knee. And that will do it here from Jackson Field in South Bend. The New Prairie Cougars have advanced their record to 7-0 on the season with a 42-21 triumph over the South Bend Riley Wildcats. Riley, for its part, played a game effort tonight, but falls to 4-3 on the season. Casey McKim, well, for him, he picks up his 23rd win as the head coach of the New Prairie Cougars. The team's shaking hands at midfield as the clock hits 0. Our post-game show, sponsored by the St. Joe County Police Department, is next with our electrical workers electrifying play of the game. It's all coming your way on the 46th game of the week.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by...
It's a 42-21 triumph for the New Prairie Cougars tonight here at Jackson Field. Riley hearing from head coach Derek Lee about what they need to work on as they go into the final 2 weeks of the season. Meanwhile, New Prairie walks out of here with a record of 7-0, showing why they are ranked number 5 in Class 4A. Welcome into the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth. Chuck Freeby with you high above the fray here at Jackson Field. New Prairie, it wasn't pretty tonight. They benefited from their special teams, some early turnovers by Riley, and some short fields to build a 27-7 first quarter lead, and then really didn't do much to expand after that, going out of here with a 42-21 win. But they got some terrific quarterback play tonight from Marshall Kubicek. He is our player of the game, and he's standing by now with Bo Hunt.
Standing by with our player of the game, Marshall Kubicek. Hey, man, congratulations on this victory. You guys moved to 7-0. On this victory tonight, you guys started out a little slow, a little bit of adversity you guys had to come with, but just talk about this victory tonight.
I mean, it's a good momentum builder for next week. We got a big game next week, and it's not what we wanted to do. We turned the ball over quite a few times in red zone, but we just got to bounce back and keep on working.
You guys were able to put up 27 points in the first quarter, shut down for most of the second quarter and third quarter, but then you guys really came alive with the ground game. Talk about what you guys talked about at halftime.
We just talked about how we can't let up and we got to keep on fighting. We seem to do that a lot where we only play 2 quarters of a game. But next week and the following week, we cannot do that. We got to play all 4 quarters, and that's our biggest worry right now is playing the whole game.
Yeah, you talk about that. You guys moved to 7-0. Big matchup next week. Just talk about your guys' focus this next week and how important it has to be.
It's very important. And, I mean, we've been looking forward to this game all season. And we finally got it, and we've been game planning for them, and we're ready to play them.
Defense really set up tonight. Give them a big shout out, right?
Defense always steps up. I mean, without our defense, we wouldn't be 7-0. And they've shown that week in and week out, and I'm very grateful for our defense.
Hey, best of luck, Marshall. We'll see you down the line.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, Riley certainly had some things go right for them tonight. They played well, and especially receiver Caleb Francis, who had 9 catches for over 170 yards, couple of touchdowns, and he's got some speed. Bo Hunt apparently has some speed because he's already back here in the booth with us. Whew.
I had to fly up those stairs to get back up here. But no, just a great atmosphere down here with Riley. You can see the attitude's a lot different here, a lot of positives. I mean, get beat by 21 points, but yet they're out here, they're focused. They got better as the game went on, and I think they found some things with some of the guys and everything offensively. Special teams is something they need to work on for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. On the other hand, I thought what came across in that interview with Marshall Kamichek is that's not a happy New Prairie team about the way they played tonight. Even though they got 42 points on the board, it's going to look like, oh boy, the offense did a lot of things. They left a lot of points on the board.
I was wondering, we were wondering if their mind wasn't past this game and looking on next week. And it seemed like every answer was about next week. Every answer was about the next 2 weeks. Every answer was about they circled next week and then it's finally here. They were probably looking past this game a little bit. So their mentality wasn't quite here and their focus wasn't quite here because we saw that a little bit. It didn't seem like their focus was right there all night.
The question is, can you flip the switch? I'll tell you who flipped the switch tonight. Was Caleb Francis. He was our electrifying player of the game from the terms of what he did. From the very first play of the game, Austin White said, you go, I'll throw. It worked pretty well.
Yeah, he just did a great job. I mean, body control. You can see there again, I talked about it 3-4 times with him. Just ability to throw his body out, go up, go get the ball, and throw both hands at his target. And in both hands, he always talk about the triangle, throwing your hands up, and he's done a great job of that all night and really securing that ball.
Caleb, I know you think you're a hooper, and you might well be, but somebody might be looking at films and saying, we could use you on a college football team too.
Yeah, just he's got speed, he's got awareness, he knows exactly what to do out there with the ball.
So a fun night at Jackson Field. Not the happiest of homecomings for the Cats, though, as New Prairie wins at 42-21. Our thanks to our TV 46 crew who brought you this one. Dean Corsmo, our production manager, off in the camper now. Tony Beltran, the bubbly one, pressing all the buttons tonight. Tom Ward, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Darren Gray, Thomas DeHar. The list goes on and on. You'll see all the names of these great men as we roll them through and remind you we've got college football Saturday on Pulse FM. Purdue and Minnesota kick it off noon on Saturday, and then it's Indiana and Nebraska at 7:30. And don't forget, next week, more high school football. Number 3 North Judson visits number 3 LaVille. We'll have it for you Friday night 11, Saturday morning at 9. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Now for the Hall of Famer Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final. New Prairie 42, Riley 21. So long from South Bend.